Everybody, and welcome to another episode of Awakened Pixels. My name is Thomas. I am the game master, joined by my wonderful players. Say hello, wonderful players.
Hello.
Joined by not only the valiant return of Grey playing Princess Bane, but also we have Ryan, aka Sim, guesting for us today. Thank you both so much for showing up today.
Absolutely, my
Thank
pleasure.
you for having me. Glad to be back.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what Bane's been up to.
Whole lot.
Which-
A whole lot gone on. It's okay. Everything's fine.
If you recall, last time on Awakened Pixels, a harrowing moment took place where one Captain Foxglove was obliterated via cannon fire in an attempt for her to drop the Dark Orb, the last elemental orb that Stoobs and the others need to maybe fix the world. And as with loot in games like this, we decided to bring it down to a luck-based roll. And with that
I hate
in
it
mind,
so much.
here is what happens. Rosalind, you are currently on the bow of a ship, of a chaos ship. You're and the Vile Lord is there as well. There is some sort of dark magister conducting and weaving a spell onto some kind of blood pool before you. And in this process, the blood changes color, and you see an unusual sight. And you start to hear the sounds of sort of clamor as the vague shape of the dread ship and the fairies who pilot it suddenly are focused into view. And a very unusual sight unfolds before you. You see Captain Foxglove, the extremely cool fairy pirate wearing two eye patches with beautiful, purple and black piratey stuff, is flying, is kind of hovering in front of three cannons on the broadside of this ship. And you see that the cannons rotate so that they are all pointing at her at point blank range. And you suddenly hear the sound of Bluebell, your sister fairy, just yelling out, "No!" And suddenly, crack boom, 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 as three cannon blasts utterly obliterate Captain Foxglove before your eyes. And she is utterly killed. You see her health bar just drop to zero instantly. She drops two things. One of them is a pair of fairy wings, something that all fairies drops, and another is the Dark Orb, the final elemental orb to be found. And you see in this reflected pool of blood that you are gazing into that as the orb drops down from the broadside of the ship into the ocean below, none other than Stoobs appears, reaches out, and snatches the orb before it can fall into the water. And before you can see anything else, the visions in the blood dissipate, and it is simply a cauldron standing before you.
I. What was that?
The Vile Lord, who is there, kind of looks down, and he says, "Well, so that's where the final orb is. Curious. Can we get some more? Can we get some more over here?" Kind of turning to the Dark Magister, and they kind of do a little shruggy, just like, I can't. It's like, ugh. I miss the Wicked Witch sometimes.
Time for some kind of jokes. Did you just see what that was? I have to go there. I have to. I don't understand why Stoops would do that. I don't understand why she would hurt Foxglove like that. I didn't think she would pick on people. I didn't think she would do that too.
Well, if you would like to go out and have a chat, then you should probably take this. And the Vile Lord motions off to the side, and you can see that a number of the vile minions of the Forces of Chaos have wrapped in chains a unicorn with a beautiful shiny horn, a pink mane and 2 big wings as well. And they quickly kind of like break it out of its restraints, and it gallops up towards you, a little uneasy by everything nearby, but feeling somewhat comforted by a fairy here.
It's okay. It's alright. I'm not gonna hurt you. Come here. Look, I know what it's like to have everything taken from you over and over and over. But you're gonna be safe here. You and me, we're not gonna let anyone take anything from anyone. We are gonna do the taking this time, okay?
And it sort of bows down gently towards you and allows you to mount up if you so desire.
I do so.
Okay. The
You
Vile
better
Lord.
not betray me like my last steed, though.
The unicorn kind of like looks to you, then to the Vile Lord, like, what? And he goes, ignoring that, he looks to you and says, "Do what you need to do, Rosalind, but we have very important work that we need to be getting to."
Yeah, the work that you've never once explained to me what it is, I'm sure it's very important.
It is critical. And with that, there is a crack of lightning on the horizon, and you notice that as these ships are sailing through the waters, you can see that the Maya Tempest at the center of the universe suddenly expands to terrifying breadths. But we fly away from this location. Meanwhile, Stoobs, you are hanging, sort of dangling from the back of Sky the Dragon. Duncan, the practice dummy, is desperately holding onto you by your ankles as you grab the dark orb seconds before it plunged into the ocean away from where any of you could have retrieved it, and you feel its power coursing through you.
I just start kind of laughing. Like, holy shit, it worked! It worked! Okay! And then I just, like, pull myself back and then slam dunk the resurrection orb into a foxglove's wings and just sit there like, okay, come on, work this time.
You can see that there's Bluebell, who you recognize as being sort of a relative of Rosalind, your dear departed fairy friend, sort of looks over the side of the ship, as do many of the other fairies, and they all seem to be looking in awe, and Bluebell yells out, "This had better work, you know!"
I mean, it might take a minute.
And yeah, you wait there as you unleash this sort of potential power that you captured earlier from another game. As far as you can tell, the item you used is just gone, and there is no Captain Foxglove. And the fairies all look at you just like, so where is she?
Hold on.
And in between lightning strikes that you can hear from the Maya Tempest nearby, you hear an unusual sound, just a...
No way.
And you look up to the sky, and you can see a blur of purple as this tiny creature is very quickly falling and falling and falling before a parachute is deployed with a skull and crossbones on the back, and you hear the jubilant cheering of Captain Foxglove, now revived, going, "Yes!" as she flies down and desperately tries to arrange her course so that she lands on the deck of her ship, and with a very light thud, because she's still a very small fairy, she pops down onto the ship deck. There is a moment of silence, and then all the fairies just burst out cheering, just like, "Yes! Captain Foxglove! Captain Foxglove!" And she kind of flicks her hair to one side and just goes, "Dying isn't that bad."
I just, like, bear hug her. It's just like, oh, it worked! It worked! Congratulations, it's a bouncing baby orb! Holy shit!
She kind of like pries herself from you, just like, "All right, you're messing up my cool entrance. All right, ease off. So it worked. You got what you needed."
I show everyone the orb, like,
They're just like, ooh. And with that, with the collection of this final sort of dark and purple orb, the section of your inventory that has all the orbs in it suddenly, ding, the very last one lights up with this purplish color, and suddenly you have all 7 of the mighty, powerful, artifact-level elemental orbs. Meanwhile, in a place far, far, far away from Phantasria, we see beautiful stars in a inky black sky. And there's a sudden vroom as a beautiful silver ship courses through space, being hunted by what appears to be a number of sort of insectoid-looking ships that are firing lasers. And inside the ship, there is a sort of a science officer who is sitting in front of this holographic console, just looking at these various beeps and charts appearing in front of them, and they say, there, the energy levels are spiking. If your device is going to work, Sleuth, now's the time to find out. And we look over to see that on the bridge of the ship, there is a very sexy shrimp man alien with an incredible butt who is currently working on this sort of very impressive, ancient-looking device that has these Tesla coils cracking with energy. And he's looking at it a bit worried, and he wipes some sweat from his shrimp brow, and he says, "It is still untested. The ramifications if it doesn't work." And then there's kind of a thrust as the ship is hit with a volley of laser fire. And we see there is a sort of grizzled, lizard-looking alien manning a laser turret who is barking into his headset. "We got a swarm of harvesters on our tail! If we don't get out of here now, we're sitting cockatoo!" And fires a salvo of lasers towards the pursuers as the ship zoom quickly tries to evade the attackers. And the crew on the bridge all turn to a figure shrouded in darkness, standing in front of this large holographic galaxy map. And the science officer says, "The device might be our only way out of this. Orders, Princess Commander?"
We're doing it. Prepare my drop pod.
And all the crew nod in agreement, getting ready to listen to the orders of their commanders. There is a sudden kind of beam of light as Sleuth interacts with this device, and it starts to just fill the room with these incredibly powerful light lamps, sort of bathing the area in this Maya energy that starts crackling around. The science officer grabs onto the console, just like, "Oh, I really hope this works." Meanwhile, Princess Commander Bane, you are making your way to the drop bay, and your drop pod opens up, ready for you to go inside it. It has all your equipment in it, and as you get ready to step inside, you feel your arm grabbed moments before you can go in, and a handsome mechanic looks at you very closely and intensely, and he says, "Go, be the hero your people need, then come back to me alive." And then he leans in for a kiss.
And I kiss my amazing, extremely handsome, super smart mechanical boyfriend.
Ugh.
Excuse me. And I get into my pod, ready to return to my kingdom.
Alright, you lower yourself into the pod, various devices start flickering, and you start, adjusting everything as needed. The pod door closes, you see outside the little window, your fiancé just sort of bowing down, eyes watering a little bit, but with a look of determination on his face. And suddenly the starship glows with a bright blue pulse of energy as it harnesses the power of the Maya to initiate a trans-dimensional jump. Meanwhile, back in Phantasria, above the dread ship, there is a crackle of energy all around. The sails start to flutter back and forth. It seems like the energy of the Maya is picking up once again, making the oceans roil and toss and turn. And Sky kind of looks towards you, Stoobs, and says, "Traitor, I believe we should get out of this place. Things are getting quite unstable." And you can see that the tempest itself is still increasing and moving your direction. However, from above, there is a sudden explosion as a massive circular Maya gateway open up, and spilling out of it, there's a sudden as a silver starship careens through this place, immediately followed by a number of insectoid alien fighters firing lasers up above you. And that's not all that happens. As the sort of view of space opens up before you, it immediately transitions to sort of a modern battlefield, and then to an ancient castle, and then to a technological landscape, and each time bits and pieces and artifacts from other games are just pouring out of this thing and dropping into the ocean. This place is very quickly falling to pieces. But before you can react, however, there is a glint of light in the sky, and there is what appears to be a meteor coming down directly onto the ship.
I yell for everyone to just scatter. Just
I
get
believe
on
there's a falling star.
I grab her and haul her onto the dragon.
Okay, you hop onto the dragon. Meanwhile, inside the drop pod, Commander, you hear via a radio frequency the science officer saying, "The jump was successful. Nothing organic or mechanical appears to be melting, but the swarm of harvesters has followed us through. Think you'll be okay down there on your own for a while?"
I'll be just fine. Handle the insects.
"Will do, Commander." And with that, the drop pod slams onto the dread ship. It is a miracle it does not go straight through. And immediately, the drop pod opens up, and some mist is expelled from it. Various dazed fairies all drift around, and very quickly kind of brandish cutlasses in the direction of the drop pod. And out, standing proudly out of this drop pod, there is a dark silhouette. Princess Bane, Commander Princess Bane, would you like to describe what you look like?
So, last time we saw Princess Bane, pre-commander, she was in a lovely kiwi green dress and wearing her princess crown. Her look has become much more functional now, and she is able to, change her clothes, and she wears now a kind of techie looking battle suit, and she has a robot arm, and her hair's up in a bun now. So much more functionality over fashion, but she still has her crown because she is Commander Princess Bane. She has her rankings on her chest, crown on her head.
Bane?
And Bane, you look over and you see that you are on the deck of a pirate ship, it seems. You are surrounded by a bunch of fairies that do not seem particularly happy to see you. And you see that just along the side of the ship, there is a beautiful rainbow dragon. And on the back of it, there is some a regular-looking woman wearing flannel, appears to be a animated practice dummy, and a very cool and mysterious-looking woman cowled in a hood. The flannel woman was the one who just called out to you.
It's really cool that you know my name already.
Oh, it's me, Stoobs! It's me, Stoobs!
Can you not
I
see
know
the
that name.
nameplate?
Yeah, my nameplate still says just Stoobs, but underneath it says dog.
So you're a person now. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm a werewolf now. It's a whole thing.
Seems like a lot.
Yeah, you have a robot arm. Like, that is...
Yeah, my fiance gave it to me. It's
You're
pretty fun.
engaged?
I am engaged. A lot has happened over time.
Yes, so... Great to see you. Are you here to help? Like, what's the...
I'm sure not here to just sit around. I just fell from the sky, so...
That's true. That's right. So that was purposeful. Not, like...
Yeah,
trapped
that was super-
somewhere against your will and,
line
like...
and everything I did. It was great.
Okay.
So I'm very glad that you guys are having this reunion, but the world is falling apart.
The world
That's
is-
true.
Yeah.
You can see Captain Foxglove, the fairy pirate, comes up to all of you and says, "Yes, this seems lovely and all, but please, if you know each other, go get off my ship and onto the dragon, please. We're getting out of here."
Good plan. Good plan. Bane, come on. Come on.
She'll do like a kick flip onto the.
Bit of lens flare as you do so, and you land perfectly on the back of this dragon. Yeah, and Sky kind of looks to you, Stoops, and says, "Creator, who is this magnificent specimen?"
This is Princess Bane. Commander Bane.
Commander Princess Bane, yeah.
Okay.
Extremely long. Do you perchance have a nickname? Commander Princess Bane. CPB?
If you don't feel like saying the actual, like, full title, Bane is fine. I didn't go by Princess for a while, but now I'm kind of like reclaiming it.
I see.
And you can see that the dreadship has immediately kicked into action. The fairies are kind of splashing through the ocean as the lightning from the Maya Tempest that is swirling out of control, mere thousands of pixels away. You can see that the dreadship quickly sails straight through a freshly opened riftbleed and escapes from this world into another one. You yourselves, on the back of Sky, take to the air and try to get further and further away from this terrible maelstrom that is threatening to devour the entire game you live in from the center. And you almost get away. But at the last moment, as you're taken to the sky, there is a sudden feeling of extreme pressure on all of you, as each of you look down and realize that you all have been constrained by a massive tentacle. And looking down, you can see that a devastatingly gigantic-looking kraken is reaching up from the roiling ocean below and is pulling down Sky and is pulling you all apart as well, holding on to you with a vice-like grip. And Stoobs, you feel that you are pulled further and faster than anybody else until you are suddenly face to face with none other than Rosalind, astride a flying unicorn.
You really just did that, Stoops?
You're alive?
What are you even talking about? How could you do that?
I thought you were dead.
Well, I'm not dead, Stoops. I'm better than dead. I'm alive, I'm strong, and I'm so mad at you. So disappointed that you could do that after everything we've been through.
Do what?
Now you're playing dumb. You really are just like the rest of them. So willing to take everything from the fairies. So willing to take everything for yourself.
We haven't.
I punch you in the face.
Oh my gosh.
Roll forceful! Whoa! Oh, goodness.
I'm not expecting it, so I don't think that I'm even going to try to dodge.
We'll just say against a 0. Okay, you take 1 point
Yeah.
of damage there, Stoobs.
Oh my god! Just explain what's going on!
And a couple hit
Really?
points just...
How are you alive?
I have a new friend. A truer friend. One who isn't just going to betray everything I stand for.
And you can see, Stoobs, that motioning across the ocean, you now see a massive fleet flying the colors of the forces of chaos, and standing on the bow of the flagship, you see the Vile Lord kind of looking up to you and just raising a wine glass.
Okay, hold on. Let's just pump the brakes for a minute here.
No. We're not gonna talk after everything. I'm just gonna sit back and let you explain away what you just did, Stoops.
A lot of things just happened. For one thing, I'm very happy that you're alive. For another thing, are you referring to the fact that I have the last elemental orb, or what are you? Like what the?
I saw what you did to get that orb. and I'm not going to just let you keep hurting people. You keep talking about, oh, how everything's gonna be better when the mire is fixed or whatever, but I don't think so.
Foxglove is alive!
Is there like a version of an insight check?
You can roll clever to see how accurately you can sort of pick up on how authentic Stoobs is being. She seems pretty genuine to you.
What do you mean?
We had a like, in order to get the orb, we had to go through this. They think you're dead too, by the way.
Why does everyone think I'm dead? People
Because you
respawn.
died in a rift bleed! And I couldn't contact you! And I couldn't find out where you were! You just vanished! All that was left was just the wings!
Well,
I mourned you for days!
that sounds unfun.
In order to get the orb, I wasn't going to kill any of them because I knew that that is not something that you would want to do. And also because, like, they're your family, so I was very much trying to respect them. And so in order to get the orb in the first place, I either had to, you know, the whole thing is that you have to kill the captain of the ship to get the orb. So, you know, Foxglove had this thing where, like, well, now the ship recognizes me as captain, so now you're gonna have to kill me. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. So then we were like, okay, well, I have this thing that'll just resurrect someone. So, you know, she was just like, okay, well, then you can kill me and bring me back, and yeah, we'll see if the orb drops.
Stoops, just prove it. Call Foxglove.
I call Foxglove.
Okay. You use the codec that you have and start ringing it to see if you can reach Foxglove, and it goes diddity 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 diddity, and
Shit, they went through a rift bleed.
and you hear somebody say, "Yes, what is it?"
Oh, Foxglove?
Ross?
You're not dead.
You're dressed fancy.
Us now.
Whoa, nice. Hey, do you want to join us? We're in some kind of very scary sort of abyssal world. Want to hang out with us and do some piratey things?
Yeah, let me, put you on hold for a second. There's a lot going on, so I probably should have a conversation first, but that sounds fun.
Okay.
Let me call you back.
Glad you're alive. I'll tell Bluebell. While that was happening, Stoobs, you notice that as the Kraken's grip slowly releases you a little bit, you see that from the Maya Tempest, there is a massive sort of demonic, twisted-looking hand formed of red lightning, reaching out and getting bigger and bigger and bigger as it is getting very, very close to your location. And as it moves, it arcs lightning across the waves and across the water, just tearing up roof bleeds here and there, causing utter destruction in its wake. In the palm of its hand, you can see there is just a massive purple portal, and it is coming right towards you.
Listen, as much as I have a lot of things that I need to say to you, there's that. All right. Could you maybe, let us get back on the dragon?
I kind of look over at the Vile Lord, like, is he gonna be pissed off if I just let them go? Like, what is...
Right now he is kind of you're still not entirely sure what exactly he's gonna do in the next few seconds. He seems to be just sailing his fleet directly towards where this confrontation is happening. So he's kind of like just around the Kraken right now. He's just looking at you. He does not seem to have any kind of expectations one way or another. The Kraken summoning on your part was very much an impulse that you did. It was no real order that anybody gave you.
No, just making sure that I don't have to, like, fake a fall or something.
Of course.
Yeah, okay, well, I mean, you didn't kill anybody, so I guess we're good. Hey, I'm sorry you thought I was dead. I've been fine. I've just been hanging out with the Vile Lord. He's pretty chill, actually.
There's a lot to unpack there, but we do not have time. Listen, like I said, there's a lot of things that we need to talk about. Maybe like neither of us has the best coping mechanisms, and maybe we should talk to a therapist mushroom at some point. We should go.
What?
In that mad scramble, the Kraken releases the people it was holding prisoner. Bane, you and the practice dummy feel yourselves able to breathe again. That entire time you were a little bit constricted, and you all fall back onto the back of the shimmering rainbow dragon Sky, and Stoobs returns there as well. Bane, you do notice actually that the person flying on this unicorn is indeed Rosalind after a bit of a sort of makeover.
I love the look, girl. And I wave.
Oh, this is awkward. Oh gosh.
I don't know what's going on with you right now. It's kind of wild, but hi.
Stoops, I took their castle. What do I do?
Did what?
And then the hand reaches Sky the dragon and starts chasing him. Of course, Sky tries to fly away as quickly as he can, but is sucked in by some kind of anti-gravitational force, and suddenly Stoobs, Chance, Bane, you are all kind of sucked into this hand's portal, while sort of a opening cluster of rift bleeds around. One just sucks away Rosalind. She just disappears. One just kind of like sucks part of the Kraken, who gets kind of stuck inside one of the rift bleeds, just like one pulls Sky through, another pulls Duncan away, and you all feel yourselves hurtling towards a new destination. While Stoobs, Bane, and Chance are falling through the sort of Maya tunnel that they got consumed by. Stoobs, this reminds you actually of the time where those gigantic snakes ate you when the Maya was very purposefully targeting you. It's a sort of similar sensation. And as you're kind of like falling through this sort of infinite psychedelic space that you're going through, there is a sudden sort of crash and boom, as though the tunnel that you're all falling through just collided with another, and suddenly there is just a spew of technological gizmos that are flying everywhere. There are nuts and bolts, springs and rivets flying all around, some of them kind of like shower into you a little bit and hurt a small amount. You also see this massive looking supercomputer just hurtling through this rift with you, and it has a message on it. And the computer says, it says, Dr. Riley location confirmed. Send emergency transmission for immediate backup? Yes or no?
Yes.
Boop! Immediately, Chance hits the Y button on the console, and the computer starts shimmering with this powerful pink light, and then bursting from the top in this incredible light beam, there is a sort of spike of energy. Meanwhile, in a different universe, we are at the bottom of a pixelated skyscraper, and there is a simple white text that covers the screen, and it says, in the year 2000X, a super robot named Hyperman was created by Dr. Bright. Dr. Bright created Hyperman to stop the evil desires of Dr. Riley. And suddenly the camera pans up this massive skyscraper, going up and up and up, looking over this future cityscape. And on top of the skyscraper, we see a little robot man festooned in this pink armor, with beautiful hair billowing in the wind. And as he looks out at the city that he must save from the evil Dr. Riley, suddenly a massive demonic portal just opens up, cascades lightning down, and sucks him through it. And then back inside the sort of tunnel, there is suddenly, out of the burst of light, this robot man suddenly appears with the rest of you. And Hyperman, what you see before you, you are traveling through this crazy energy tunnel that is pulling you between dimensions. You can see there is some regular lady wearing flannel there. There is some very badass looking princess / sci-fi commander lady, and a mysterious and surprisingly composed woman as well. And you're all just hurtling through this vortex.
Sorry, Thomas. I'm having like whiplash from the like 30,000
Yep.
things that just happened.
Understandable.
Also, our cameras are shuffled.
They did get shuffled, yeah. I'll fix that as soon as you're all introduced to each other.
Cool. So, do you want me to just describe what he looks like?
Please,
or-
absolutely.
Okay. So, Hyperman is about 4'5". He doesn't look like he was born short. He just looks like normally proportioned and just that tall. His armor is varying shades of pink. One arm is just a normal gloved hand, and the other is this big cannon-looking thing with blue buttons just going down the side of it. He is wearing a pink helmet with a visor over his eyes, and he kind of he looks weird because he looks very flat. And as he like turns, it almost like he becomes a thin line and then disappears almost, and then you can see him, but he's just facing the other direction because he's just 2D. And he's just kind of he's very confused as to what just happened because he was just on a building.
Now flying through a as Thomas said, psychedelic portal.
Yep.
Hello, my name is Hyperman. Where am I?
That's a good question. I'm not sure that we know either at this point. I am Chance. It seems the stars have guided you to us.
Probability is low that the astral bodies had anything to do with current portal.
Excuse me?
Oh, no.
That seems
Probability is low that the astral bodies had anything to do with adjusting volume. Probability is low that the astral bodies had anything to do with current portal.
Love this little guy.
I feel very offended right now.
before Chance has a small aneurysm. I'm Stoops. I think we might have accidentally called you here.
Hello, my name is Hyperman. Previously known as Stone Man, but Hyperman tested better in overseas markets.
Okay.
It's a fun tidbit.
Yeah. So you're aware that you're a game, correct?
Does not compute.
Okay. I turn to the other. I don't think he's awakened. And I turn back and I'm just like, so yeah, we're just kind of flying through this portal. Sorry for dragging you into this.
Do you need assistance?
Yeah, probably. Most
Very well.
likely.
Hyperman shall provide assistance where Hyperman might be able to provide assistance.
And suddenly there's another sort of crackle of lightning as you all feel yourselves ejected very rapidly out of this tunnel you were traveling through, and you land in a sort of dimly lit, perfectly perfect cube room that just has default like game developer gray texture all around, and that is all you can see. There is nothing else.
I feel like we just landed in purgatory.
Huh.
So,
Not purgatory, you hear. And suddenly there is a projection that appears on one side of this cell that you find yourself in. And you see this sort of figure shrouded in shadow, and they say, "It's more of a hell." And stepping forward, Hyperman, you can see your sworn foe, Dr. Riley himself, the mad and evil scientist responsible for creating legions of evil robots.
Ah, fiend, you are not going to get away with this.
Oh, look who it is, my arch-rival, the one who destroyed all my little toys. How fitting it is that you are here as well. Ah, this will be very good indeed. Yes, this is video game hell, where all the worst parts of video games have been built into one dreadful complex by yours truly.
Scanning. Perhaps he means this is just one large sewer level.
Oh, there's sewer levels, and so much more. But you'll get to see that for yourself. There's only one way out of video game hell, and that's to push yourself through it. Good luck.
Bud, are you okay?
What?
Like, emotionally, are you okay? This
I can
doesn't.
honestly say I've never had a better time in my entire life.
I really don't think this is a healthy coping mechanism. Have you considered other hobbies?
Well, let's see. I've built robots, I've built death complexes, I've taken over worlds. No, I'm
Yes.
pretty good. I feel great. Living
Why?
my true self, really, yes.
Person in the room. Are they here somewhere?
No, it's a projection on the wall. You have no idea where
Yeah.
they are.
Cutscene over. Can we move on?
Hyperman's just starting to go towards wherever it looks like he's supposed to go, and you just hear him going.
Does he make his own music? Is
Of
that
course
what
he does.
He's just sitting there humming to himself. That's adorable.
And you can see Dr. Riley is kind of looking down at Hyperman, just like, oh no, he's still not entirely. That's fine. It's gonna be a little less gratifying, but that's still fine. Anyway, good luck with hell. Bye. And the holographic display disappears. Then it quickly flashes back on again, and he says, "Oh, by the way, you don't have any health bars here. You all have exactly one life, and that's it. Ta-ta!" And he disappears. And you can all confirm that all your health bars have disappeared. And the only sort of UI that any of you are able to comprehend is a small icon at the bottom that simply has a sort of little circular dot on it with a ×1 on it. You have one life.
Oh.
And a door appears. Bless you.
Bless you.
And brings in dust with it that makes Stu sneeze. Welcome to hell! And it kind of like has this white and grey fog gate for all of you to traverse out of here.
Perhaps we should take a moment and discuss some of our recent findings before we go on. Bane, you've appeared from the sky. Stoobs, your friend that you keep talking about over and over again, is not dead. And that man keeps humming to himself quietly. Perhaps we should all have a conversation before we move forward, establishing something.
I love him. He's great. Also,
He's just having a great time, like straight.
He was literally built for this.
Honestly, I really wish I was like this guy because he seems to be just,
he has his shit together.
yeah.
He knows what he's
I-
He
doing.
knows where he's going in life, and it's to the right.
Hey, sometimes to the left, but only if you miss the checkpoint.
I'm glad you're all fond of our new friend who doesn't like the stars.
Oh, I don't think he doesn't like them. I think he was just saying, like, you know.
Careful what you say, Stoops. The stars are watching.
If it helps, I
Incorrect.
like
Stars cannot perceive. They are.
Okay, buddy!
I hold Chance back from just absolutely going ham on this guy. Okay, we just have to work together to get out of this, okay? We only have one life. We only have one life.
I'm gonna show him one life if he keeps talking
Okay,
about the
okay.
stars like
What
this.
if,
Listen.
what if Hyperman dies just from PvP?
It could
And
happen.
then that's my bit here, guys.
Been having you on the show. So sorry we both of you.
So sorry
Fun
you
roll.
died right away.
Listen, he's the only one here who has any idea of how this level is going to function, okay? He knows the guy who built this thing, all right?
Right.
Okay? Okay, we just gotta, you know, sometimes you have to work with people that you don't necessarily like, and that's
You
called work assigned groups. So,
I think
that's my current emotional state. Or does anyone else have something they'd like to express before we move forward?
honestly, I'm just kind of running on a state of vague, what's the word for it? Like, hysteria at the moment. So, like, what I'm processing right now is just what's happening and the current moment, and, like, everything else has just kind of been compartmentalized. So, my body is completely in the stress, reaction phase, so I can tell you that my cortisol levels are super high. However, my adrenaline has spiked through the roof, and I could probably stay awake for 5 days at this point.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
I turn to Bane. I do not understand half of what she says most of the time.
I understood it all, but that's just a lot going on. Last time I saw her, she was just a small dog on a skateboard.
Huh,
Hyperman's going to walk over to Stoobs, having finished his current song. His cannon is going to rearrange itself into like what looks to be I'm blanking on freaking words now.
A drill or a
no,
hand?
Back
Like-
scratcher.
Syringe. That
Syringe.
was the word.
Okay.
And he's going to look at Stu. He's like, "Do you perhaps need a sedative? You were talking about levels of cortisol that are dangerously high."
Honestly, I don't know what would happen to me if you gave me a sedative. I would probably just, like, straight up collapse, so it's probably not a good idea.
Accepted. Back into a cannon.
Good to know that you can do that, though. Thank you.
Update on my robot hand. Gosh. Oh, mine doesn't grab things.
I'm also, I'm gonna point to Bane, and I'm just like, I mean, you obviously have a lot going on, too.
No, I'm great. I'm a star commander. I'm engaged. I just need to get my kingdom back and my parents.
Oh, I see. You
apparently I
are
have to go
also
to the
favored by the
again.
stars. Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh no, you're fine. What'd you say?
Oh, I just said a star commander. You are also favored by the stars themselves. That's wonderful.
Error. Stars are gaseous bodies that have no feelings.
Myself
no
between them!
Okay, buddy. You want to see what stars do? Because they're not just gaseous bodies. They are living, breathing creatures who influence the fates themselves, and I will show you as such. And I'm going to pull a card.
Oh no. Now, before you draw it, are you using this sort of normal, or are you inserting this into the meteorite blade?
Not to the meteorite blade yet. I'm just showing that stars are they're like my religion. I'm like,
All right. So, what kind of card did you draw with your magical RNG powers?
got X of Wands reversed, of course, because I'm incapable of. At this time of your life, with your achievements accomplished, you need to be learning how to trust others and hand over some responsibility. But you are unnecessarily holding on to the burden. What can you do to lighten your own load? Inability to delegate, lack of priority.
These cards are alive, and nobody can convince me otherwise. Chance,
Oh
how do you
my
react to this
gosh.
reading that you make?
So the stars want me to put aside our differences. And since they've asked so kindly, I will accept your opinion, although it is completely wrong and not okay. I will accept it for the moment and prioritize us getting out of here rather than proving that the fates themselves are watching, because they are. They're watching all of us. Every moment, every second. And I'm sure you're disappointing them.
Facial scanners are noticing that you perhaps wish to make amends. And he puts out his cannon arm, but instead of just reaching out his hand, he reaches out his cannon arm, which then extends a hand.
Stars told me to. The stars told me
Algorithms say we should put by. bygones, noun. And he just continues reciting what that means.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay. Okay. A fragile peace. An armistice that will end horribly. Okay.
A Fragile Peace, a book written in the year 20XDX by author Stoops.
Wonderful.
It's to know that I'll be an author in my later years.
Oh. Well, it's good to know we survived this. That's
Yeah.
information there.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Actually, yes.
Should we get moving?
Yeah.
Are we in a box right now, or can we like walk away towards somewhere?
You are in a massive box, but there is sort of a small foggy gateway before you that seems to be the only way out.
I mean, Hyperman seems to have the best idea of like how to traverse all of this, so I think we should follow his lead in this moment.
He is going to run up to the gate, and then he's going to jump into it. And his arms are going to splay out.
Absolutely. I'm going to give you a fate point for that, because that's wonderful.
I don't know what that means, but thank you.
Go ahead and increase your fate points by 1.
Whatever that means.
Yes, Hyperman leaps up to the fog gate, kind of gets paused and suspended in midair, and then slowly just gets pushed through. And the rest of you just see him disappear.
Ah,
Okay. I mimic him.
Okay, Stoobs leaps into the air, gets stuck, and then just phases through.
Video
Well-
game Hell do as Hyperman does. So,
Okay. Bane also.
we just know.
sorry he hurt you. Then I jump up.
You all jump through. Wonderful. You all enter a completely dark, lightless landscape of nothingness. And you see before your eyes the massive letters in front of you saying, Video Game Hell, Stage 1, Loading. And you see the progress bar.
Oh, so this is part of it,
The third
isn't
part.
it?
If it were truly video game hell, it would be one of those loading bars that doesn't actually load, but it just goes like, it just cycles. So
Oh,
you never know
Yes.
that it's actually loaded.
that is now canon. It is just cycling and cycling and cycling. It's like, is the game broken? Should I do something, or is this good? I don't know.
Those are the bane of my existence. No offense, Chris.
Yes. Stoops, you suddenly get an instant message via your internet connection, and you can see Duncan is trying to get in contact with you.
I checked the message. Yeah, what is he saying?
Duncan is saying that he got sent to a sort of a very impressive sci-fi world, and he was able to, and he's in no immediate danger, and he is able to sort of hack into various devices and track your locations. And he informs you that you have been sent to a place that is not a game world. This is an artificial world. This is not a game that exists anywhere. It was created from scratch. And he informs you that as such, it is very susceptible to hacking.
Ooh, okay. I will tell him that they're calling it Video Game Hell, and it was created by some guy called Dr. Riley, and just... It's
Duncan's like,
wild.
Huh. I'll run a search on that name. In the meantime, if you can access sort of one of the system nodes, I can give you something that might help out.
Is that going to be something physical within the world, or can I just do that through my brain?
You gotta just use your magic, the adder script.
Oh boy, here we go.
So please roll clever for me, Stoobs.
Alright.
Let's see how this goes. As you see the matrix before you, and you hack the mainframe. In a world like this, a 3 is exactly what you needed.
Great.
You kind of pass through various bits of code and information, and you access the properties of this world. And although there's a lot of information, due to its sort of slightly haphazard construction, you are able to get a pretty good idea of everything, really. And Duncan says to you, okay, if you've got access to the node, you need to type in a very specific code, and it should help you out. Are you ready?
Hold on. Let me open my notes program in my brain.
You might not need a notes program for this.
Okay.
He sends to you via an instant message. He says, "Okay, punch in this code: up, up, down, down, up." Sorry, repeat. Sorry, no. Listen, no. Again,
Up,
let's
up,
try again.
Down, down.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A.
Left, right, B, A.
And the
Okay.
second you punch that code in, the kind of lights in this place light up, and you can see that your lives counter that you all can see that has a ×1 on it suddenly starts cycling up, and now it says ×30. And you hear the voice of Dr. Riley say, "Oh, what is this? Shut down!" And suddenly, these klaxons go off, and you find yourself immediately locked out of the system stubes. And Dr. Riley's like, "Okay, well that's a new one. Thank you for helping me figure out that particular bug. Won't let you be doing that again." And he cuts out at that point.
Are we still on the loading screen?
You are still on the loading screen, yes.
I'll just turn it and I'm just like, this thing's real easy to hack. Just give me another few minutes here, and I will start like systematically going through the systems that I already have access to try and like find a backdoor or something.
Yeah, go ahead and make another clever roll. The rest of you find yourselves kind of going through your idle animations as you're just kind of waiting for this loading screen to do something.
Stoops' eyes are like flashing different colors like replays.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm going to invoke Wi-Fi connection to get a better roll on that.
Okay. I'm going to invoke item degradation, which is a environmental aspect
no.
of video game hell, which means as soon as you use this, it will be inoperable for the rest of video game hell.
Shit.
So go ahead and take your +2.
Okay.
As you feel your Wi-Fi connection suddenly breaks. Not irreparably, it needs to be repaired by something, but it does not seem to be functioning anymore. You are cut off.
Oh no. Did I get anything to glitch before I did
No,
that?
with that roll, unfortunately, no. You are completely locked out of all systems.
Can Hyperman walk up like the loading bar
Mhm.
and try to like find a like he has a hunch that there is a little panel under there that he could access and maybe plug himself into to try to make it load faster.
Sure.
Do I have to roll something for that?
Yeah, why don't you roll clever as you carefully, careful actually, to carefully search for this thing.
Sure.
And
I've never done this.
that's fine. Just go to your character sheet, and next to clever, there's a little plus button that you can click on, and that should roll the dice for you. Great. A 3 is sufficient. You kind of like look around, doing the very video gamey thing of just like checking for secrets every few steps, and eventually you find a hollow panel, and it opens up, and you see a socket that you could potentially plug yourself into if you wanted to.
I need assistance. Could someone please plug me into this panel? He points to like the middle of his back where there's just like a USB cord that can be pulled out.
Sorry.
Bane will go ahead and, pull out the cord and plug it in.
I
Excellent.
imagine that the plug is actually just high enough off the ground that Hyperman is actually kind of just like swinging from this.
Oh, it's so adorable.
That's really cute.
Yes, there's a crack of electricity as you are plugged in, and you feel like you could potentially overclock this system with your own internal systems if you wanted to.
Would that like drain my batteries, do you think?
Potentially. Depends how you roll.
Cool, let's do it.
All right, go ahead and roll forceful as you're just giving as much energy as you can to this thing. Okay, you managed to sort of compartmentalize your own energy stores successfully enough that you juice up this loading bar without having any negative repercussions on yourself. So good job there. I'm even going to give you a boost, which is basically a one-time use thing you can invoke to get a bonus on a roll. And we will just call it that you got a little overclocked too. So we'll just put an overclock under boosts. And just to remind everybody, both Chance and Stoobs, Gwendolyn Garstone, who I forgot to mention was sucked into a rift bleed, much like many other people during that chaotic scene, she left the two of you each a card that has a little bit of magic in it.
Oh, that's right.
And those both count as boosts for you.
Chance got the star card, and then I got the
Balance card.
balance card.
Correct. All right. And with that, the loading bar suddenly freezes, giving everybody a slight heart attack for a second, and then bloop, the next area is loaded. And you all see that you are basically thrown into a room of various pillars that kind of stack throughout this place, slowly ascending up to what appears to be an exit on the far end of this room, entirely covering the floor except for the small platform you're currently standing on. Spikes. Everywhere spikes. And between the pillars are balance beams.
Okay. We can do this.
Definitely can do this. I
Yeah.
did this a lot before. I went to a game. It's called Tomb Looter. A lot of back and forth. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Time it right.
All right. I guess I'll take the lead.
Okay. What are you doing, Stoobs?
I am going to very carefully and very slowly just make my way across these balance beams.
All right. Go ahead. Roll careful. What about the rest of you?
I'm also just kind of like taking a moment to just look throughout it all, look at my cards, kind of plan out the best way that the stars think I should go. Just very carefully looking at everything.
Okay.
too.
Roll careful for you as well. What about the rest?
I think. So I may have misunderstood the situation. Is it we need to go vertical or horizontal towards the exit?
Both. You need to kind of traverse across these slowly kind of climbing pillars, and between the pillars are these small beams that you can balance across to get there.
So it's like a stepped
Right. Okay.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
kind of. It's like a big obstacle course.
So you said we have. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm
No.
still thinking actually.
Well, I was just gonna ask Thomas. You said we have 30 lives now, so it's not gonna be permadeath if we screw up.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Cool. He's just gonna run and jump.
Love it. Sounds very quick, so go ahead, roll
Sweet.
quick for you.
That's what he does in all of these.
You just hear brr, brr, brr. And what about you, Bane? How are you getting across here?
I think she's doing a similar method of like just like going for it, and she's like
Okay.
trying to maintain a certain amount of balance while doing it, but she's pretty much just like flipping from thing to thing as
Whoa.
much as she can.
Is this more kind of forceful or more flashy in your mind? Are you powering through or are you showing off?
Powering through more so. I'd
Okay,
say-
Roll forceful for you then, Bane, and let's see how you all did. So Stoobs, wow. Okay, I'll start with Bane actually.
Oh.
So Bane, you kind of like charge forward. You leap over Stoobs and kind of like go on one of the beams and immediately almost fall down. And very quickly just keep moving. Basically, your strategy is to just kind of like keep jumping and running as much as you can, so you don't have to worry about the balance too much, like trying to cut as many corners as you can. And it's a very successful strategy. And the similar can be said for Hyperman as well. You're kind of like running around, leaping around, avoiding the worst of kind of the balance beams, and you're doing all right. Chance, you're doing okay. You're taking it very slow, very steady. You're sort of keeping yourself balanced. You feel your sort of body tipping from side to side, and you take a moment to just kind of stop, rebalance, and then keep on going. You're not doing it quickly, but you are making it there slowly and steadily. Stoobs, you run into a little bit of trouble because as you're moving about, you're about halfway through this obstacle course, you realize too late that one of the balance beams is slick with ice, and immediately you fall off the edge, hit the spikes, and Stoops dies before all of your eyes. And moments later, the life counter goes down to 29, and Stoops appears back at the entrance.
I'm okay.
Meanwhile, the rest of you manage to make it to the far end, but you realize the door will not open until and you must gather your party before venturing forth.
Do you got this, or do you need like?
No,
help?
I got this. I got this. Hold on.
Okay.
Just let me.
Hyperman can come down and help Stoobs if need be.
I can totally help if you need it.
Okay, so I have a better idea of what is before me now,
Sure.
I think. So I would like to take a route that I think is the most stable and least dangerous kind of a thing.
Cool. If you're trying to
so-
avoid danger, careful sounds good, so roll that. And you all watch as
Please,
Stoobs
for
begins
the love of
bouncing
God.
again. And yes, manages to get it. There's a very close call about 80% of the way through where you kind of like go, but you manage to right yourself and then make it to the other side with your friends.
Hey, all be one death. It's a really good thing that we have 30 lives now. I would
Is-
just like to say
is it-
that.
A 30 life pool, or is it like 30 lives each?
You believe that is collectively 30 lives. So one of you could potentially spend all 30 of those lives if you're not careful enough.
Yeah.
Man, it's a good thing that I'm not playing it like an asshole because he would just like jump.
Ding 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 ding.
What? We all have 30 lives.
Alright, so do you all leap through the next gate onto the next area?
Yep. Let's
You
do
are
this.
stricken suddenly with the realization that every single one of these sections is going to have a hell loading screen. For the sake of brevity, we can skip right through it because we have that luxury. Your characters, however, do not, so you're all just kind of sat there twiddling your thumbs for a long time before the next area loads. And then you find yourselves appearing in this kind of like open outdoors area. It might be a city if the entire city block was just flattened onto the ground. There's just various colors of city buildings and like layouts and everything, and there is fog everywhere. You can barely see. The rendering distance is not very powerful here. And then you hear Dr. Riley, his voice just kind of like echoes out through the landscape, and he says, "If you want to save your friends, solve my maze." And then suddenly in the sky, these hoops appear, as well as a time limit. 2 minutes, starting now.
So they're in the air and we need to.
You need
Go
to,
through
he
them?
says you need to solve his maze, which is odd because you see hoops before you.
So this is just Superman 64.
It might be a game Power Man 63, yes.
Oh,
If y'all don't mind, I think Hyperman's got this one.
By all means.
He takes out this little dial and he turns it, hits a button, tosses it, and it becomes this big blue robotic frog. And he jumps on it, bloop, and it just kind of has one large thruster on the bottom of it. And then he just starts going through the hoops.
Love it. Go ahead and roll quick as you fly on the back of your frog. Also, spend a fate point to invoke your wonderful frog friend as well.
Okay,
but that
is that how
means-
that works?
Yes, you can also get a +2 or a reroll to this if you need it, thanks to that.
Okay, quick, you say, yes?
Yep. And we'll see how it goes. Okay, so thanks to the aspect you invoked, you can reroll or add 2 to that if you would like.
I almost feel like rerolling would. Can you have negatives in this game?
You can, yes.
Yep.
Would 3 do it?
Would
If
3
I
do
added
it?
2?
You're not sure. You would kind of have
Ah.
to trial and error it.
Because Roll20 definitely hates me.
You probably won't get like terrible negatives if you don't have a negative stat. Like most of the times that we've gotten people have like really bad negatives, like is because they have a negative stat they're rolling on.
I forget who it was, but somebody got a -6, and that was the most wonderful. Oh, it was Luigi, Uili rather.
All right, I will try to roll again.
All right, you engage the thruster of your frog friend, who zooms about the sky, and
Oh,
you
wow.
find yourself timed out before you even get through half of this maze, and you all lose 1 life. And you are now down to 25 lives, and you are all
Oh.
spawned back at the beginning of this area again. And 2 minutes on the clock, and start.
I told you all roll 20 hated me.
Okay, so do you have to fly to get through the hoops? Are they like up off the ground?
They are off the
or-
ground. You would need to be incredibly good at jumping, or have another creative way to reach them,
Okay.
or bring them down to you.
Can I roll a card? and
Absolutely.
see?
Is this a normal card, or are you putting it in the blade?
I feel like I should wait on the blade. The blade is very important. I don't want to waste that.
I will
think
now, by the way, invoke item degradation. The frog friend of yours suddenly springs, a few springs fly out of it, and he crashes onto the ground, gets a couple of X's over his eyes, and he is out of commission for now until you can find something to fix him with.
I will just stuff him back into his little box.
Maybe I will put it in the blade, actually.
Okay.
Will that degrade the blade, do you think?
I don't know. I just got the blade. I don't know how it works. Maybe. Okay. I'll just pull a card. I'm just gonna pull
Okay,
a card.
so you conjure your RNG magic, and you pull out a card, and hopefully it's something good.
Oh boy.
Okay. It's not reversed this time.
Hey.
It's I believe, 6 of Swords. Rest after a period of intense struggle and heartbreak. Much has been lost recently, but this card indicates that one is in recovery from that challenge. The message being conveyed here is that in order to move forward and rejoin life, we must pause and look within. Rest, restoration, contemplation. I hand this to Stoops. The cards are talking to you. I think the stars have a message here.
I take the card and I just look at it. I'm like, I don't understand this. Okay.
The card in
Uh-huh.
your hand, Stoobs, transforms into a red toolbox, and you believe you can use this to fix 1 degraded item.
Oh, okay.
Fix my frog.
So yes, I will fix the frog because that is the
Fix my
only
frog.
flying
Okay.
thing.
You go out
that we
and
have.
you fix up Zoom the frog, whose eyes suddenly spring back with life again, and he's like, "Rawr, rawr," and it's back, and it's great. And at this time, the time runs out, and you all lose 4 lives again.
Oh dear.
Okay, so I will freaking use my werewolf strength and like fastball special them if
Oh, I
it gives
love it.
them more speed.
Go ahead and
Uh,
roll a forceful to create an advantage, Stoobs, and then Hyperman, you can roll another quick to see how fast you can get through this. And if Stoobs rolls well, you'll get a bonus.
Yeah,
Is
that's 3.
A 3. Okay, that will create 1 free invocation. We'll just call it Fastball Special. That seems appropriate. Da-da-da. All right, and Hyperman, you got a 3. Awesome. So here's what you could potentially do, Hyperman. You can get a free invocation of the Fastball Special aspect that Stoops just created for you for a +2 or a reroll. And in addition, you can get the Overclock boost for another +2 if you would like. It all depends on how much you are willing to pump into this.
Can I? Is it use it or lose it right now? Or
Yeah, circumstantially, I'm going to say yeah.
well, then I'll just put everything into it.
Okay.
You can't keep losing 4 lives over and over.
Sounds good. Okay, so with the power of Stoop's Fastball Special and utilizing the power of the overclock that is currently charged in your system, you modify a few dials on your frog friend and suddenly burst with speed. Also with the control you need to navigate this maze, and with a few seconds left on the clock, you go through the final hoop, and you are successful. And there's just a little fanfare as you successfully completed the maze.
Nobody likes Superman 64.
And the sort of city you find yourself in kind of turns like this, and you all start sliding down, and are thrust into yet another loading screen.
Oh dear.
If it's anything you would like to chat about or discuss at this point, now is the opportunity.
At this point, Hyperman is just doing like little drum sounds. He's a drum machine.
I feel like there's gotta be a way that we can just, I don't know, bust out of here. Like this just is.
Your frog is also
Great.
broken again.
Uh-oh.
Query. Most programs have backdoor systems and subroutines. Perhaps finding one of those is a way to escape.
Well, in order to access anything, I need to have my Wi-Fi connection repaired, so we need
Can-
another...
I
Yeah.
summon one of my alternate forms.
Absolutely. If you would like to, that's an aspect of yours, right?
Yeah.
If you would like to spend a fate point, you can absolutely summon one of the other hypermen.
So I actually thought about the way this works last time,
Mhm.
and is that when I summon one of my alternate versions, he's the one I take control of and I play as until I
Oh.
switch back to the other one.
Love it.
They're still both there,
Mhm.
but
You have the
so
main one.
I am going to spend a fate point to summon Hotspot Man. So she has all the Wi-Fi. Stoops has all the Wi-Fi she needs.
Incredible. So Hotspot Man is just literally just kind of like a robot man with
He's a cell phone.
Just a cell phone.
what era of
Like-
cell phone are we talking about here?
He's definitely whatever the smartphone would be in year 20XX.
Love it. Excellent.
Wait, is it a cell phone with arms and legs, or
No, he's an
just a cell
android.
phone?
I'm sorry. He's an android.
Oh dear.
And yes, it's literally just he's got a head, 2 arms to the side and legs, and just the body of a smartphone.
I love that.
I imagine you like pull the little antenna up as well, just do 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 do. Excellent. Since you spent a fate point, I will allow Stoops to get 1 use out of her Wi-Fi connection. Incredible, beautiful.
Okay, I will... Ooh.
What's the plan, Stoops? What do you want to do?
Okay. I'm gonna try to just trawl through everything. If I can invoke, quick reference guide as well.
Is that your
Get a
stunt?
+2. Yes.
What are you referencing?
So I guess if I am, like, if I can figure out kind of like what toolkit or whatever that he's using to build this, I would like to look at just like the wiki help page.
Okay, I like that. Yeah,
Just like common problems, how to fix them, and
yeah.
like maybe it'll give me some insight into how to break things a little more.
Sounds good. Yeah, go ahead and roll
Um,
clever to get this information.
It's +2, so that's a
So
3.
3. Okay.
Uh,
You learned that. Oh, sorry. Was there another thing you were gonna do?
I was gonna say I can't invoke more than one thing at a time, though, can I?
Right, but you haven't invoked anything yet. Oh no, sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
because it's a stunt. right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So I can't invoke an aspect or anything.
You can evoke an aspect and a stunt. Yes.
Okay. Then.
Can't see myself.
Is it okay, you can tell me that I can't do this.
Okay.
Can I invoke item degradation to say that I know that this is like a mechanic within the world, but I also know that it could go the opposite way for Dr. Riley?
Interesting. Interesting. What is the ultimate goal here?
The ultimate goal is that I can figure out a way to break his connection a little bit.
Okay. With your clever roll and invoking this, we'll say, yeah, that is kind of what you're trying to do. Whether you're successful or not is to be determined, but yes, you can do that. Let's see how this goes.
Okay.
Are you adding 2 or re-rolling?
So if I add, this would be adding another 2, so that would be 5 total.
5
if
total,
I
yeah.
just did that. So yeah, I feel like that's pretty solid. So we're gonna
Okay.
go with that.
Let's see how Dr. Riley does to counter you with his maniacal genius.
Oh,
He
boy.
does so bad. He does so bad. He does not expect this. Yes, you tap into his systems and you learn a lot of information very quickly as his sort of antiviral software very slowly tries to hunt you down. But yeah, you basically break his connection, so you see that he has a number of cheats installed for himself, such as get giant robot body, summon reinforcements, get regenerating health, all that stuff. With the difference in rolls, you can turn off 4 of those, which is all of them, if you would like.
All right, I turn him off.
All right, you turn the item degradation back on Dr. Riley's own power-ups, and they all fizzle. And he doesn't even notice what you've done before you're out of there like a thief in the night, and he kind of shuts down all the systems to make sure that can't happen again.
Except what he sees on his screen is kind of like in Independence Day when they launched the virus or whatever, where it's just a laughing skull and crossroads.
I imagine it's just like a pixelated Stoops head, just like bork, bork. kind of
Yes.
thing.
Just the Undertale dog.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
Toby Fox's Undertale dog.
Wonderful.
a
Some time
clue.
passes, and you're out of this loading screen, and you enter this sort of futuristic-looking castle. And in this place, you see that there is a beautifully dressed young girl who is wearing a wonderful princess gown, and she's like kind of standing there, arms close to her chest, her eyes wide and innocent looking, and she turns around to look at you all, and she says, "Oh, are you here to get me to safety, brave heroes?" And suddenly the words "Escort Quest" appear above her.
No.
Here.
No.
She's not gonna like this as much as we're not gonna like this. It's fine.
Okay. So we're all just gonna be miserable together. Cool beans. Alright.
The flashbacks.
This entire castle seems to be a large sort of sci-fi complex, sort of a sci-fantasy sort of setting. It looks like there is a big pathway you can go down, bringing her to the final location, which is basically this this loading bay of a spaceship where you can all escape with her, and the route is fraught with obstacles.
Why don't we just take the spaceship to her instead? Like, it should be able to move. Let's just send 2 people to go to the spaceship and have them come back to us.
Oh, I'm so frightened.
Shh.
Oh boy, is that a possibility? Can we figure out, is that like...
You can head there and try if you'd like.
What
Sure?
sort of obstacles are we looking at?
You can
Yeah.
actually see from where you are, kind of like in the sort of high up tower that you're in right now. You can sort of get a good idea of the route. Immediately, it seems like the biggest problem is like there's just a bunch of sort of these holes in the ground in one chamber, and it kind of leads on a ramp down, sort of on the outside of this beautiful castle, and that leads to sort of an interior area where you can't really see much, and then sort of like a gatehouse kind of thing. And then beyond that, you kind of can escape the castle walls themselves, and there's just like this flat land, and there's some spotlights moving about on it. And you can see there are these towers and these hovercrafts sort of searching for anybody who would dare escape.
This is really, it doesn't feel like innovative level design, you know? It just... We need to get him some books or something. I don't know.
I'm so
It's-
frightened.
Oh my god. Okay.
I know. So, do we want to try to escort her, or do we want to try to cheat and send 2 people over and see if we can just take the spaceship to her?
Who's our fastest? Who can just book it? There and back. Or something. I don't know.
What did that be?
I haven't done super well with the quick recently, so I'm not so sure.
Bane, how fast are you?
I'm pretty fast.
Okay.
I'm like really fast.
I'm so
Okay.
frightened.
Stretches her calf muscles. Like I may have been doing some light jogging.
Okay, so Bane and I will, since we should probably use the buddy system, we will
No,
run.
actually, I don't like this pair-ups. I think... Please don't leave me with the guy who keeps telling me my stars don't feel things.
Oh boy.
I can stay with the princess. That's fine. Or I can run. Either one, really.
Hyperman would pretty much want to be able to stay and protect the princess from whatever. It's in his coding.
Okay.
Oh, dang it. Okay, it does make... The stars told me to get along, and it does make more sense for you 2 to go. It's fine. It's fine. It's
I'm
fine.
so frightened.
can I mute her at least? I know that we talked about like growing up and like being nice about everyone having their own cutscenes and things like that. But this one's not awake at all. So can I mute? Can I mute?
Actually, can we talk to her? Like, does she engage at all if we talk to her?
What do you say?
I'm just like, hey, are you like, what's your name?
I am Princess Sparkle Gem.
Okay, do you know where you are?
I'm so frightened.
Okay, yeah, you can mute her.
Thank you.
And I will turn to Bane, and I'm just like, hopefully neither of us will die. And
Can we try to guide them from up here?
Oh yeah, like give
ooh,
them.
yeah.
Like give a bit of Overwatch support.
Yeah.
Potentially, I don't know if you have a way to communicate. Oh no, you have a codec.
We
yeah,
have
so you
the
could communicate.
codec, yeah.
I was also going to say we have Hotspot Man, who is just a
Yeah, just a phone.
Just a phone.
That's very true. He's literally a phone. Yes, absolutely. Why don't whoever is most careful can roll to create an advantage to see how well you can kind of help guide people out and see if there's any advantages you can create for them.
I don't know if you have over a +4, but I have.
I'm
a
pretty
+4.
sure Chance is the most careful of everybody. Of anybody, actually. Of any guest we've ever had, of any player we've ever had.
Damn. Okay, so I got
Okay.
a 2. I'm gonna use my I can help aspect.
Oh, that's perfect.
to- Yeah.
Let's go
Bring
ahead
it
and
to
spend
a
a fate
4.
point there. Bring it to a 4. Alright, that is going to give you a free aspect. We'll just kind of call it tactical info. And I'll just put it here. That can now be freely used once. And then the cost of a fate point. After that. Excellent. So yeah, Stoobs and Bane, you both set out. You go through these sort of elaborate sort of Star Trek doors, and you find yourself in sort of the area where there's just a bunch of holes in this castle. And you're walking through, and for anybody with any kind of pathing, this isn't a problem at all. You do notice that as you get about halfway through the room, big metal claws slowly emerge out, and they try and grab at both of you. So how are you both defending yourselves?
Rock and roll.
All right, so that's a dodge, so quick from Stoobs. What about you, Bane?
Would you say that this is either an environmental hazard or a kidnapper of a sort?
It would be both, dare I say.
Well, I can't do two, I think.
Let's call it a kidnapper for now.
Cool. I think this is a stunt. I think this is what this is called. Can I use my strong and independent stunt? Gives me +2 to defend against kidnappers.
Absolutely.
Okay.
How are you defending yourself?
I'm gonna punch them. really
Okay.
hard.
Go ahead and roll a forceful defense then. And get an automatic +2 to this thanks to being strong and independent, like the cool princess commander that you are. So that's a 4. Excellent. So yeah, Stoobs, you easily dodge out of the way of one of these metal grabbers. They don't seem particularly good or smart. And Princess Bane, you basically grab it and just twist as though you're breaking its neck, and it just explodes into sparks of electricity.
That works too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you make it across the room, and you now find yourself kind of like going along sort of the exterior on the outer wall. You can see up to the tower where your friends are kind of watching over you, and then you enter the gatehouse area. As far as you can tell, there is nothing here of any kind of... There's nothing here that's dangerous. It's like a series of doors and corridors, but that's basically it, and you make your way down and out easy. And now you're outside the walls. And you see these spotlights roving around, trying to find anybody who would dare escape and get to the spaceport.
Okay.
How far is it from here to the spaceport?
About 2,000 pixels.
Tells me nothing. Okay. Can I just kind of sit and observe the pattern of the searchlights for a minute to see if I can...
They are very
Check it
lazy
out.
and predictable.
Okay. Then, using what I have observed, I will just go.
Okay, go ahead and roll careful to avoid the spotlights. The difficulty for this is 2.
Hey!
Easily. You easily get to the spaceport. Bane, do you go with her, or are you good?
I'm gonna go with her, of course.
Okay, go ahead and roll. Well, tell me how you're getting across.
As fast as I can.
Okay, quickness from you then. As Stu's is carefully avoiding these spotlights, you just start sprinting. Your metal arm sounding all cool and hydraulic as you run. And yeah, you make it to the spaceport as well. Both of you easily make it, and you see a big, beautiful ship right in front of you.
Okay. Is there a way in?
Yeah, there's sort of there's a little back ramp that's open, leading into the back of it.
Yeah. I go check it out.
As you go up to the ship, your feet goes through the ramp and through the rest of it until you realize that this object has no collision. It has nothing. It is not a spaceship. It is effectively a cardboard box. And that is where we'll go on break, everybody. We'll be back soon
God
to
damn
see
it.
how successful our heroes are in the escort mission, getting the very lost and afraid princess off to the location she needs to get to. So don't go away. We'll be right back very soon. Bye.
It's not a real ship.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Awakened Pixels. Where we last left off, our heroes are on an escort mission, trying to escort a very dainty princess to her spaceship. Stoobs and Bane, you just made it to the spaceship, realizing that it is nothing. It has no collision. It has no functionality. It is simply a waypoint for the princess to reach.
I
What
hate
do you
this
do?
so much.
So I guess we go back now.
Yeah. I mean, it feels kind of like it defeats the purpose for us to go all the way back. We've made it here, but yeah. I mean, at least we have knowledge of what's there now.
Yeah, it's not that hard. That was really easy to get through.
We say this when we don't have the princess to protect yet. I have a feeling that'll get a lot harder.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be fine. Race you there.
Okay, I book it.
For the sake of brevity, we'll say that you both make it back to the tower in one piece, and a Chance and Hyperman, while they were out doing that, were you two doing anything?
Probably having a discussion, an awkward discussion.
So, is your life normally like this?
Query not understood.
Right. How are you?
I am operating at 95% capacity. 94, 90, 85, 7. And I think at this point his batteries would go out.
Oh no!
Oh, I don't know how technology works. I draw a card. Do I have any? Are all my cards gone, or did just that one leave? That's
Your tarot deck is broken, unfortunately.
okay. All right.
Whatever that means.
That means pretty much my whole power set. I poke him. Is there like an on and off switch? Does he have an instruction manual?
You find, I don't know, well, yeah, Ryan, what do you think?
So, if you look closer on his armor, which almost seems skin tight, but it actually isn't. There, he has little like pouches, and if you look through those, you might find something. I don't want to just say what you find, but
I look through them.
okay, I'll say what you find.
You rummage through, and you find some very small, futuristic-looking batteries that glow in your hand.
I don't know what batteries are, you guys.
Looks like some kind of delicious candy.
Oh no.
Eat them now.
Oh no!
You as a player character, you can open up your inventory and get a vivid description of what they are. These are batteries. They are used to power the Hyperman X series and older versions, and they can be inserted in the power cell to reactivate him.
Oh, okay. I look at him and try to figure out where batteries would
Why don't you
go.
roll clever, and we'll see if you can pop them in, and also with the right polarity.
Can I, like, just pick him up and put him in the inventory, and maybe that'll give information?
I don't think you can put characters in inventory, although he is currently just a hunk of metal.
Exactly. Does that...
Roll clever first, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, you find a tiny little sort of socket on the back where these batteries can be inserted.
I put them in.
And bzzz,
Can we say since everyone else is already awakened, can we say that I'm starting to get there?
yes, absolutely.
Yes!
So that he can actually have a bit more conversation-wise.
Absolutely, yeah. When you reboot, there's a sudden sort of flash and surge within your AI core.
He is no longer 2D, I guess. He is more 2.5 to 3.
Yes!
He's going to take off his helmet, and his hair is probably about down to his shoulders. Pure blonde. Well, that was different. It's been a while since I've fully run out of batteries.
Ah, I. You sound more. I. I'm on the lower end of awakened compared to our friends, so I have moments of on and off myself. It seems that you are more here now.
I tend to remember the different things that have happened before. Unsure if that's a normal process of awakening or not.
Yes, recollections or memories, they store up with you and you can recall them at any time. It's kind of like a game mechanic.
Feel like I must. He's kind of searching. You hear a little whirring and clicking in his head. Apologize for statements made about gaseous bodies, stars, in your purview. In world of Hyperman X, they are pinpricks of light, pixels at most. Different in different universes, one assumes.
I appreciate you taking the time to apologize, and it would be hypocritical of me to hold it against you when I have done similar things. When I was first found, I turned off the volume in the whole world because the cutscene wasn't about me, and I skipped all of their dialogue when I got bored. It took me realizing that other people were just as alive and feeling some way more so than I even could be, to realize that it was wrong, and it was thoughtless of me.
In the background, the princess mouths something.
Fuck.
And that's when Stoops and Bane, you both return back to the tower.
I did grow, I promise.
Well, we have good news. We have bad news.
We have good
Good
news.
The good news is I am slowly on my way to awakening.
Oh
Hello.
yay! Good news.
Hey!
Yes,
We
Hyperman.
found it.
You may call me Hyperman X.
Do you always say it in that voice?
Hyperman X is
Okay,
unsure.
yeah. Yeah, welcome to the realm of the conscious, sentient something.
Stuffing his
We-
hair back into his helmet.
Can we call you Hype for short? Does it have to be Hyperman? Can we just call you Hype?
You may call
Or
me,
X.
You may call me Hyper.
Hyper.
Okay.
I dig it.
Look, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying I dig the name. It's cool. I'm all about rebranding. Remember that. That's my thing.
Many thanks, Commandant Party General Bane. Commander Princess Bane.
I was a bit confused, but you got it.
We're getting
Still
there.
new to the whole being awakened thing.
Is it,
What happened?
Well, the ship isn't real.
It's more of a checkpoint that we have to get to with the princess. So
Mm-hmm. But we know what's on the way, like, because we already did it, so, we know what's gonna happen.
we're just
Okay.
a function of sprint away.
Um,
We got this.
right. Yes, I should probably unmute her.
I'm so frightened.
Okay. What can, we do?
Alright,
Can she be held? Can I just pick her up?
Just imagine like the Guts Man hand. He's just like holding her.
When you pick her up, Princess Bane, you see that the health bar above the other princess's head immediately drops to 0, and she goes, ah, and dies. And all
What?
4 of you see the text, mission failed, escort dead, and all 4 of you are thrust back into your starting positions in the tower, as is the princess. And you all lose 4 lives.
Wait. You said the other princess. Is there 2 princesses?
Yes, you are a princess, Commander
Oh.
Princess Bane, and there is this escort princess as well.
Okay. and I killed her. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't realize.
I'm
that.
so frightened.
None of us knew that it was gonna do that. Okay, we can't touch her. At all.
I suppose not.
Okay, so
Perhaps we form a coalition line wherein the princess is in the middle and we flank her on both sides.
I think that might
excellent idea. Yes. Okay. Who wants to take point?
Sure.
One of you,
Yeah.
Bane.
I
yeah.
got it. Point.
Okay.
Here we go.
Hyperman X will take up the rear.
Want
I-
left? I'll take right.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, you arrange yourself around the princess, very protectively, making sure you don't tap her too hard or whatever just happened there. And you begin trying to leave and realize she doesn't follow you. After a bit of figuring out, you see that she responds to voice commands.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh no.
Okay.
Princess, walk.
Okay, if you think it's safe. And she starts following Chance.
Can we make her do other things? Princess, jump.
She just stares at you.
Princess, stop.
Okay, I'll wait here. Don't leave me alone for too long. I'm so frightened.
They really wrote her 3 lines of dialogue, didn't they?
Are those robot arms like completely disabled? Can I just, or do they like respawn after a bit?
Ducking your head into the next room and into a pit, you can see that the one you destroyed is back. And it tries to grab you. Please roll a defense.
Cool beans. What is defense? Like same thing I did last time?
You tell me, what are you doing as this claw tries to grab your face?
I'm gonna kick it.
Okay, a forceful kick. Go ahead and roll that, and you get a
Roll
+2
kidnapper,
because
right?
kidnapper.
Yay!
That's a total of 9. Goodness. Bane, what do you do to this metal arm?
It goes from like me thinking, oh, I'll just like kick it, and then I do like several kicks followed by a spin and an axe.
I'm gonna say you rolled so high that basically you send a electric surge that zaps a good half of the other arms in this room immediately.
Good thing the princess wasn't in there.
Good in here though. Can we get her to move forward?
Okay.
Okay, I'll move forward, and she starts moving to the next room.
Watch out for the holes. I said that.
And she sees the holes and kind of looks at them as she's walking straight towards one.
Princess, stop!
Okay, I'll wait here. Don't leave me alone for too long. I'm so frightened.
Princess to the left.
Okay, I'll go right. And she
No!
and moves in a direction. You see a metal arm comes out of one of the
Princess,
holes and tries to
stop!
grab her. Okay, I'll wait here. Who would like
Hyper-
to roll a defense
Hyperman
for this arm?
Hyperman will shoot at it.
Okay, go ahead and roll forceful to blast this arm before it grabs the princess.
Can I? How do I use the stunt charged shot?
You would create an advantage, which is an action that you just take, and that will create the charged shot aspect on the board, and then you can invoke it after that.
Okay, so but each aspect takes a fate point, right?
It depends how well you roll when creating an advantage. You could potentially make them without needing to spend anything. Which is how you got the tactical info aspect that's currently on the board as well.
Okay, so if I wanted to do the charge shot, then I have to roll something for that? Or...
Yeah, you would roll to create an advantage first.
So what do I roll for that?
So for charging a shot, it sounds flashy. Sounds like you got some cool laser beam stuff going on, so roll flashy, and let's see how well you do. One.
Not very.
That's not very good, unfortunately. Let me double check what creating an advantage does on a roll. So you can either not create this advantage, or you can create it, but it gives your opponent a free invocation of it as well. What would you like to choose?
No, I just won't do it.
Okay. You feel kind of
I'll
sparks
just-
coming from your charge beam.
And I'll probably something weird from the new batteries.
Yeah. Still
I guess
adjusting.
I'll just try to shoot it with the normal shotgun.
Sounds good. Just roll forceful and we'll see how that
Okay.
goes.
My last like 3 or 4 rolls have been awful. I eventually need to roll well, right?
Yes, this has to
Yeah,
be.
Right?
totally.
Pathetically.
All right.
Hey.
That is sufficient to defend the princess. You kind of fire pew 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 3 of your shots, and they blast into this metal arm thing. It is not destroyed, but it saved the princess, who is now just standing in front of this thing, just going, "I'm so frightened." What's everyone else doing?
Trying to figure out how to get her through this literal minefield of arms.
Some ideas, please.
Jubes, can you hack into the arm and just like?
Okay, I'll try and hack the console. And she starts walking over to a random direction towards a console on the wall.
What?
No, princess, stop.
Wait,
Okay,
maybe she's good at this.
I'll stop.
Did
Hold
we
on.
not see the console before?
I mean, there's a lot of just generic sci-fi junk around. It's,
Okay.
didn't
hold
leap
on.
out to you.
Maybe she's really good at this. Maybe the game was like, we're gonna be forward thinking with that princess, and we'll give her a skill set.
Okay, we can try.
Thanks. Do doubt.
I mean, I turned out all right. Maybe she'll be like a tech genius. That's possible.
She was programmed by Dr. Riley.
Press
No.
X to doubt.
Let's give her a shot, though. I want to see what happens.
Okay.
We're running out of lives, Nebby.
Yeah, we are kind of running out of
I
lives.
know we're lives.
Um,
I'm so curious. If you guys are against it, we don't have to do it.
30 seemed like a lot of lives until we all started losing one at the same time.
I
Um,
kind of have a bit of an idea. Is it fair to say that there's like some sort of like communicator on my robot arm so I can contact my fiance?
Sure. Communication between worlds is a big thing.
It is
Um,
an aspect of mine. It, like,
Oh, then in
this.
that case, yes. If you would like to spend a fate point, you can absolutely do that.
Okay, cool. I will spend a fate point to access my aspect. Engage to a mechanical genius.
Okay.
And I'll go, hey babe, any way you know how to shut down like a hallway just full of robot arms?
He says, "Where are you?" You know what? Never mind. Yes. Shutting down a room of robot arms, they're all going to be connected to the one central computer or brain. Once you find that, you can shut them all down.
Can I like snap a picture of that? Is that it?
He says, no, that's not it, but that's an interface that could potentially access it, yes.
Cool. Could you like walk someone who's good at that through that?
I could, yeah, try, absolutely. Assuming it uses the same kind of coding system that we are used to in our world. I'm guessing
Mhm.
it doesn't.
The guy who made this game did say that he stole from like every other game, so
Okay.
maybe.
Worth a shot.
Who wants to give it a shot? Also, to everyone, this is Mark.
Oh,
hi, Mark.
Are you new crewmates? Hi.
Actually, I think I met your friend, the shrimp guy.
Oh, Sloof! Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Do you want to say hi to
Stoops.
him? He's like right here.
Sure.
You see just a big shrimp head just appears on screen. He's like, "Oh, hello, Stoops. I do not recognize you.
Hey,
Greetings, hello."
how you doing?
I have been better. I have also been worse. Things have really ramped up ever since you left. But I am no
Yeah.
longer lonely.
That's good. That's great. Rosalind is evil.
Oh, so my
Yeah.
my inspirational talk about family didn't seem to stick then.
Well, I mean, I think it helped, but like there are a lot of compounding factors and everything like that. The world is presently ending. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, she might not be evil.
You see, Bane's fiance kind of like shoves the shrimp man out of the way. It's like, all right, okay, all right. This isn't like we got things to deal with here. We got people attacking us. I don't know where my fiance is. Let's figure this out.
We're in video game hell.
We are in video game hell.
Which video game hell? There's a bunch of hells in video games.
Not our hell, different hell.
Sure. Which video game hell?
One created by a Dr. Ripley, or not Ripley.
Please search for Biosign according to Dr. Riley.
Dr. Riley. Looking it up. Okay, you've got a mechanical mad genius on your hands. So
Press X to doubt. Records
like
show
this
that
one.
Dr. Riley has stolen most, if not all, of his mechanical designs from my father,
who's your father?
Dr. Edward Blight. Excuse me.
Impressive. All right. Well, it sounds like you're all good to go. Wait, are you an X series?
My name is Hyperman X.
Babe, get me closer. Get me closer.
Oh, I move my arm closer.
He starts completely geeking out over the wonders of Hyperman X. While you're all just kind of standing here, and you hear the princess go, "I'm so frightened."
I
I
hate
thought
to.
we had a problem.
I hate to be the one to bring this up, but there is a system that needs to be hacked.
Yep.
An arm definitely during this long interlude has come out to grab the princess. So who is the first there to react to defend her?
I'll shoot it.
Okay, go ahead and roll forceful stoobs. Pew.
Let me see here. And I'm gonna invoke Bang Bang.
Cool. What does Bang Bang do again?
It's just if I forcefully attack, I gain a +2.
If you forcefully attack what?
Yes. An enemy?
That's a bit too generic
Vague?
for a stun.
Okay.
Wasn't there some kind of like, it was like
Uh,
an extra thing we said? Whatever, we don't have to worry about this right now.
I don't know.
Either way, I'm invoking item degradation against you to smash this laser rifle. So,
So I get one shot with this. Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's sufficient. You blast the arm and your laser rifle overheats and locks down.
I hate this so much. Okay, just let me see the freaking console. I will look at the console.
Okay, it is a bunch of 2D sprites on a screen. There is no interface that you can see. It is just set dressing as far as you can tell.
So I can't access anything, even if I press buttons or.
There's no buttons to press. You can kind of touch the screen. There's nothing there of substance.
Yes.
Let the princess do it then. Let's see what she does.
Okay, princess hack.
Okay, I'll hack the console. And she moves over to the console, and she starts kind of like doing this in front of it, clearly not pressing or doing anything. And you hear beep boop, beep 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 beep. And there's a little status bar above her head that's slowly filling up.
This feels just so not lifelike.
And I will now roll for the princess to see how well she hacks.
I believe in you.
Can
princess.
she get a
That's
plus?
a -3. And you all hear troops being sent to location. We have an escaped prisoner. And you hear
Oh
the
my
sound of
God.
cyboid soldiers coming to flood the room.
Did we not get rid of that with the item degradation?
No,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was specifically for Dr. Riley himself, not for environmental situations.
Oh.
Rapid kicking.
And you see the princess turns to you and goes, "Oh no, I failed."
Try
And
again.
then just laser beams start flooding in as these cyboid soldiers start. Pew, pew, pew. There's the princess, get her! Pew, 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 pew.
I just start punching things.
Absolutely.
Just-
Why don't you all give me a roll to see how you're either attacking these people or defending her, same kind of thing. And based on that roll, we'll see how it goes. So Stoops, you're punching like crazy. That's a forceful you get for a -2.
Wow.
Okay. So your current defense score is at
How?
-2. Oh.
How?
Hyperman, what were you doing? Just blasting.
He's just basically, rapid fire shooting.
Love it. Pew, 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 pew. Bane, what are you just punching dudes as well?
So I either can use my Boon of Athena, which is
Ooh.
+2 to defend against ranged projectiles. Which
Absolutely.
I feel like lasers count.
Yeah,
Or I can use
absolutely.
my full arm to like punch people.
Okay.
Which would be
Awesome. And Chance, what were you doing?
I was just kind of trying to arrange ourselves in the best position to offer defense towards the princess.
Love it. So as everybody's kicking ass, you just kind of put them in a nice defensive formation.
It's
Wonderful. So your total score from that, with Bane's stunt, is going to be 11, which is enough to defend the princess. A lot of lasers shoot throughout the room. A lot of cyborg soldiers are decapitated as their robo heads fly into the air, sparking around. And miraculously, even though there is score marks all over this room, the princess is unscathed from your efforts.
Okay.
Well,
So that went poorly.
yep. I shouldn't have trusted her to do anything. My apologies, princess.
I'm so frightened.
I know you are.
Okay. Can we just get her to walk along the wall where
Okay,
the robot
I'll
arms
walk.
have been
And she
disabled?
starts walking.
No! Princess, stop!
Okay, I'll stop here.
Little mini heart attack every time she does something.
No, it's just okay. So we can't say the W word.
No.
Can't. This is okay. So can we get her to WALK along the wall where the robot
Dog.
arms have been destroyed?
Yes, you could definitely set it up if you would like.
Yeah, throw us a bone here, Thomas. Go on.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if you were talking to the others here or if you were talking to me.
I mean, both.
Yeah.
You know.
No, yeah, you
like,
can
this is the
absolutely set
plan.
it up to sort of move her along. Just roll careful to see how well you can get her out of this
We're
room.
just hurting her, like.
Basically. She also, you discover that she has a really massive collider around her, so she bumps into things really easily.
Oh, God!
Okay, who? Okay, the most careful person should be helped.
That's
with.
Chance then. Go for it,
Okay,
Chance. Let's see
Chance,
how you
like
do.
lay out our path. You are.
Wow,
Our pathfinder.
sorry. I can't see the stars. The roof is covered.
Oh boy.
So the princess almost falls in a pit. Does anybody do anything before she does?
I
What?
tell her to back up. Back up.
Just tell her don't fall.
Alright, Stoops, go quick to see if your command can be interpreted quick enough for her to not fall in a hole.
Oh boy.
She's literally a Roomba right now. She falls in, she immediately dies, and you are all transported back with 4 less lives into the tower.
Dang it.
This is it. This is how we die.
And you
This
just
is how
hear
the game ends.
from a loudspeaker from Dr. Riley just, "Ha ha ha! Welcome to hell!" And then he cuts out again.
Why don't I call him with a codex so we can yell at him?
Yes. Yes.
He's like, "Hello, who is this?" And they just yell profanity. He's like, "Ah!" And he hangs up.
Actually, wait. Can I call the scientist?
Yeah, absolutely.
I call the scientist.
Okay, got the scientist. She looks worse than you've ever seen her. She's got a bunch of battle damage. Her hair is slightly fried and smoking a little bit. Her crowbar is horribly dented and covered with some kind of alien viscera as well. And she's kind of limping through a landscape, and she kind of pulls on the communicator and is like, "Hello, Stoops, hello. What can I do for you?"
So we have the last orb. However, we've
What?
been sucked into a rift bleed. We need to get out of here. Except it's literally video game hell, and I'm
Which
really...
one? Like an Inferno
it-
kind of thing? Which hell?
No, just one that's been created especially for us by this dude named Dr. Riley.
You can see her expression immediately drops. Dr. Bloody Riley? Ugh. He gives scientists like me a bad name, don't you know? Alright, I'll try to use my gizmos to see if I can pull you out of there, but in the meantime, you're gonna have to open up some space for me, if you catch my drift.
You mean hacking? What?
No, I mean destroy a bunch of stuff so I can get in there.
Oh. You mean just go ham on anything?
Go ham on everything!
That's the
Okay.
princess.
She's not the princess.
Because once you
Alright.
do that, it adds to the chaos, and the chaos attracts the mire, and the mire can be utilized by my I don't have time to explain the science, just do it.
Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it. I just turn to them and I just go, okay, so we just need to go batshit crazy.
Excuse me?
You hear the princess say, "Oh," and she kind of like
What?
turns around and just starts walking towards the wall and just slams her head against it and dies immediately, and you all lose 4 lives.
Okay, here's what we're
Okay,
going to do.
let's-
I will sit here with the princess. I don't really.
I will sit here.
Batshit. Yes, we will sit here together, and you guys go batshit crazy, and I will make sure nothing gets. in
Don't
her
say
veins.
that. Don't say
No,
the word.
ah!
She starts walking
Princess,
towards the
sit!
wall.
Princess, sit! Princess, sit!
Sit it.
Sit, princess. Sit. Good princess.
I'm so frightened.
Princess,
know.
put your fingers into your ears.
She doesn't appear to respond to the command.
I will stay here because
Okay.
personally, I don't really comprehend the idea of pure destruction. That's not exactly what I'm made for, and not exactly what I'm good at. Chaos happens when I use my cards, but
That's true.
most of what I do is try to regulate it and not allow it to get too far out of control. But so I will stay here and reign the princess in while you all go.
BSC.
Yes. I just turn to the thing and I start hitting it.
Alright, everybody who is just destroying things, go ahead and roll forceful to just dismantle this entire region that you find yourself in. Meanwhile, Chance, I assume you're just
Wow.
ensuring the princess is doing nothing.
I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe I'm trying to see what other weird things she knows how to do. I'm like, can you count? do you know? Do you play peekaboo? What kind of do you like pee? Do you want your fortune read? Like, I'm just cycling through.
And you play patty cake. Like, yeah.
Don't touch her.
Don't touch her.
Oh, right.
No, I didn't touch her.
Alright, Stoob, somehow you fix some of the damage that the others were making with your attempts to break things. However, both Hyperman X and Princess Bane were able to smash a bunch of things. It immediately kind of triggered an alarm, and more of those cyborg soldiers came in, and you just kind of like started picking them up and tearing them in half and throwing them about the place and setting off all the grenades they had on their belts and everything. Really just destroying the landscape. Chance from the adjacent room, you just hear explosions and collapsing and all sorts of chaos and bedlam. And the scientist on the codec is like, "Okay, yes, I think I'm getting the readings to honing on your location now. I just need to get to one of my secret workshops, and then I can zap in, and then I can give you a hand and get you out of there. Because if you have the orbs, then we still have hope. We still have hope."
Just a heads up, we are losing lives pretty quickly, so you know, like the faster you get, the better.
Yes, just a heads up, the world's also being destroyed by the Maya, so yeah, I think I'll move a bit faster. Good idea, Stoobs.
You know.
And she, she kind of cuts off there. During this time, the sheer amount of destruction has summoned more sort of reinforcements that are now repelling into the tower. So Chance, it is just you and the princess versus 3 of these cyborg soldiers that come in. What do you do?
Okay. Let's see. Damn. I think I have just a plain auto attack, right? Like, not everything's RNG. Do I have an R?
Yeah, you have a normal attack. It like shoots
Okay,
a few stars.
Yes. I'm gonna use that. I'll use flashy and try to make it as, like, bright and shiny as possible.
Love it. Let's see how it goes as you fire flashy.
No, it does not go
It's
well.
kind of, and it does nothing. I
Huh.
think you misjudged the size of the princess's collider, and your star attack slams into the back of her, and
No!
all of you find yourselves hurtled back,
Wait a moment. Wait a moment.
or at least such a thing could happen.
Jeez, can it? Hold on. If something happens on a player turn, I foresaw it and can make a move first. She's not really a player. I was
You're a
gonna
player.
Use my ult. Yeah, I'm gonna use my ult to be like, yeah, that fucking is a bad idea.
All right, you use your ultimate ability to foresee that you're about to hit the princess in the back, and prevent it.
I'm going to use my stunt escape, which means I just run away from
Yes,
the attack using
absolutely.
the in-game menu.
Roll quick to see if you can get yourself and the princess out of there using the flee function.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Whenever. Okay, I got a 1. I'm gonna use I can help to make that a 3.
Love it. Perfect. So go and spend a fate point there. And a 3 is exactly what you needed against these 3 cyboids. And you flee to the next room where your allies are, completely destroying things. And there is a sudden kind of crackle in a rift as, in a flash of light and Maya energy, the scientist appears in her bright orange hazard suit with her big frizzy hair. Looking very battle worn, with a little device in her hand, and she says, "Okay, all right, I made it. Good work on the destruction, everybody. You're really good at that. All right, let's get you all out of here." And she says, "Everybody, huddle up.
Okay.
I've met almost none of you. Oh wait, I've met you. Oh, Princess Bane, is that you?
Hi, science lady.
You
Yes.
look incredible.
Thank you.
Little robot man, I have not met you before, but greetings and such. Also, another princess, apparently." She said, "I'm so frightened."
She's a creation of Dr. Riley.
Okay, whatever. Let's get the video game hell out of here. And the scientist starts punching in coordinates on her device. And you hear a voice on the loudspeaker saying, "Not so fast, scientist. I see what you're doing, and I won't let you." And the scientist is like, "Oh, I hate you, Riley!" And you are suddenly all teleported. And the scientist is desperately wrangling with Riley to see how this goes. So I'll have a roll off between those two to see how it goes. So
Can we assist at all? I don't know.
I think this is all happening a bit too quickly for any tangible assistance, unless you can think of something that's like that would make sense. But I'll roll for the scientist now. She gets a. Oh no, roll 20 is like no. She gets a 3. Okay. And oh no, alright. In a battle of hacking, you find yourselves thrust to effectively the final chamber of video game hell. You see a bunch of terrible content that you're skipping. Various sewer levels, a lot of sort of very frustrating, like, buggy areas. You see an entire course of just trucks. Just big trucks on a racing track of some kind, and one of the trucks is basically climbing up a vertical incline like this. Whatever that was you skipped. You see sort of a store with a bunch of microtransactions available for sale, and a bunch of people murdering each other trying to get them. And you suddenly find yourself in the final chamber. And when you get here, you see the telltale sign of a cutscene happening as the massive black letterboxes close in from above and below. And you suddenly
I
find
touch this?
yourselves...
Skip.
You suddenly find yourselves trapped. And yes, you have the power to skip cutscenes, Chance. So you immediately go to skip it, and you realize this is an unskippable cutscene.
No!
You can still pause it though. I opened the in-game menu and paused it. No.
Not in video game hell. This cutscene cannot be
Ugh.
stopped. You see before you an angsty 15-year-old boy. And he walks up to you and he says, "It's no use. That girl has lost her heart." And he points to the ground and you see that the princess you were escorting apparently followed you. And she's just crumpled on the floor now. And the boy says, "She cannot wake up. The keyhole cannot be completed so long as the last princess of hearts still sleeps. Without her power, the keyhole will remain incomplete. It is time she awakened. Don't you see yet? The princess's heart isn't responding. It has been there all along. Her heart rests within you. I know all there is to know. It is I, Mansum, the Seeker of Darkness. So I shall release you now, princess. Complete the keyhole with your power. Open the door. Lead me into everlasting darkness." And the cutscene ends as the letterbox disappears, and suddenly you find yourself in a boss fight with this 15-year-old boy.
You're gonna be fighting a literal child.
Feels highly unethical.
And he
Go to
raises
school.
a blade that also looks like a key in the air, and dark magic circles around it, and he goes, "Yeah!" and starts slashing at all of you with a power attack. How are you all defending yourselves?
God. I dodge.
Okay, it's quick from Stu, so what about everybody else?
I guess
Oh
I'm good.
boy.
So just like carefully look at the best opening spot to slide into.
Sure, yeah. You can roll careful for that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Bane and Hyper.
Can I just like try to block his attack by shooting it?
Yeah, you can use forceful to kind of like counteract him. Absolutely. Okay. And Bane, what are you doing as this edgy anime boy is coming at you?
I'm gonna try and like quickly dodge out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Go ahead and roll it. All right. So all of you managed to expertly avoid this kind of dark power attack. Unfortunately, Bane, you are not quick enough, and this massive key comes down, strikes you, and envelops you with energy, and you explode, and you die.
What?
You now have 8 lives left. What are you all doing to this edgy anime boy?
Well, he
Okay.
killed me.
Bane, you are still currently out of the game at this point.
Oh dear.
So, he's literally a 15-year-old boy. So does that mean that I am significantly taller than him?
Yes, but your feet are smaller significantly as well for some reason.
Okay, you know that thing where, like, you're an older sibling and you just put your hand on
Do
your
that
younger
kind of thing.
sibling's head and you just hold him in place?
Love it. That sounds
I
forceful.
Just to hold him in place while someone else winds up for an attack.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, so roll that. We'll see how you do.
Oh my god. You have to be freaking kidding me.
As Stoobs holds her hand out, you hear the boy go, "Ha!" and cuts her arm right off, and Stoobs, you die. Now leaving only Hyper and Chance left. What do you both do?
We are not doing
We're
good.
not doing great. Also, I've had the realization that I'm also like an RPG video game protagonist, so I'm probably also like 16 now that I think about
Oh
it.
no.
So there's this awkward like, oh.
Yep.
How many times
Yeah.
can one use their ultimate?
Once per session.
Okay. Do we think that this is the biggest boss fight we're gonna have today?
Possibly. I don't know. I don't know how close we're gonna get to the mire today, so...
Well, I probably won't be there for the Maya. Let's go ahead and use my ultimate, Hypertron.
Hypertron.
So he's basically going to summon a bunch of different versions of him from different universes, and they're all different colors, because of course, and they all look like him, but all different. Like one of them is just like a dude in a spacesuit holding a gun. One is like this guy with like, he looks to be about 15 and he's got like all these like playing cards for some reason.
There are so many teenagers all of a sudden.
He's one of them. It looks just like him when he was 2D, and you know, there's just a myriad of mirror versions of him, and we're all basically just all of them kind of like stand on top of each other and just like fuse into each other to make an even bigger Hyperman. He changes into Hypertron XL
Yes,
or
it's
Hyperman DX Director's Cut, whichever you'd like.
Love it. It's kind of like you do your own sort of transformation cutscene as well, so the entire boss fight stops as everybody watches the generations of Hypermen appear from across the galaxy, and you converge into the massive Hypertron, and you create the Hypertron aspect, which you can invoke twice now. So I'll put that out there.
Invoke that.
Well, wait until we roll first, and we'll see if you actually need it, because you might not need it. Cool. While that was happening, Bane, what was going on with you?
Well,
So I'd have to like respawn, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. You. Sorry, I meant Chance. I forgot that Bane
Oh,
immediately got
yeah,
killed.
Okay,
I
that's
see that
pretty
they're
weird.
like setting up this ultimate thing.
Uh-huh.
So I am just going to try to create an like assist by just
Love it.
kind of like planning out the best strategy for them on how to overwhelm this obnoxious 15-year-old boy.
I love it. Why don't we do careful to see how well you can kind of like judge his tactics and very quickly come up with a plan. And we'll see how you do as you you can kind of see his boss routines. He's got like a shockwave attack. He's got like a blade dance attack. 5. That's excellent. That will definitely create an advantage with an invocation. So we'll just call it. Actually, I'll just keep tactical info there. That works well as well. So you lost it from the last scene, but you've got it back in this one. This boy sees the Hypertron and is basically going to do a bunch of anime nonsense teleporty blinky attacks. And it's going to try and bring you down, Hypertron. So how do you defend yourself against this onslaught?
I'm just gonna try to smack him with my gun, like forcefully.
Love it. Forceful defense, go ahead and roll it. And
Uh,
if it's not great, you can invoke those free aspects of yours.
let's see, I've been rolling mostly crap all day, so let's see.
You got this! I believe in you!
Hypertron. That's a 3. So you could re-roll that with Hypertron, or you could add a +2, or you could just take the +3, your choice.
I'll take the +2, make it a 5.
Make it a 5. Excellent. All right. So you have a 5 defense. We'll move 1 use of Hypertron down to now there's 1 free use of it left. And this boy, whose name is Miku, gets a 3. You successfully defend yourself from his onslaught, and you every time he does a nonsense anime blink, you kind of like rotate one of the Hypermen to defend against it and just blast him away.
You see a bunch of like weird variations, like Wall Man and like Guitar Man and Hyper Woman, and just all these different variations.
Absolutely. Great.
Batman.
So you just defended yourself very well. Now it's time to go on the attack. What do you both do to take out this 15-year-old anime boy?
Well, I would like to use my ultimate Hypertron attack.
Hell yes. That sounds either flashy or forceful, your choice.
And is that getting a boost from chance, or
It can. Depends on how you roll and what you would like to invoke when you do it.
So I'm going to try the forceful, I guess. It's technically I wanted to do a charge shot. Can I do a charge shot?
You can set that
and-
up if you would like.
So let's try for the charge.
Okay, we're gonna try for the charge shot. So roll flashy. Chance, you can see that this new Hypertron is okay. That absolutely creates a charge shot. Good work there. You can see Hypertron is like powering up a super attack, but he is currently vulnerable. So is there anything you do while this is happening?
Yeah, I'm gonna distract the obnoxious 15-year-old kid because it's a 15-year-old, and they get distracted by insults pretty easily. So I'm just gonna say something like, "Your shoes are dumb." Until they're like,
Your feet are oversized and quite ridiculous.
All right, use a forceful, I guess, to just be
Maybe
mean to
flat.
this boy.
flashy. Like, it's just trying to draw his attention. So instead of focusing on the giant robot, he gets his feeling hurts and looks at me.
Okay. All right, distraction. I can see the argument. All right, go ahead and roll flashy.
We've been in hell for like 30 minutes, Thomas. Give us something.
30 minutes. All right. Yes. With that, he kind of looks at you, and oh boy, what would this character say in this moment?
No, you.
He says, "Your heart isn't pure, but mine is." But is thoroughly distracted.
That's great. I'm very glad I distracted
He
him.
is going to attack you with great force, however. So how are you defending
That's
yourself?
fine. So I have a stunt. If an important named NPC attacks, I get a +2 to carefully defend. This guy is definitely a named
He's-
NPC.
He's technically
Just
2
give
because
him a
he's being
name.
possessed by the big bad,
Ooh.
and he's well, not your best friend, but a best friend of somebody. Awesome. Love it. So go ahead. How else are you like defending yourself though?
So I'll be careful. Like, I'll just
Love
try
it.
to
Just
carefully
sidestep.
dodge it.
Sounds good.
And then I'll get a +2, bring it to a 4, which
4.
is great.
Excellent. He gets a 6, and unfortunately, at the last second, he kind of like goes, "Power of darkness," and just brings down this blade on you. It explodes with dark energy, and you are obliterated. Chance. Meanwhile, however, the charge beam has fully prepared. What would you like to do, Hypertron?
So basically, using Hypertron's power and the charge shot, I'm going to use what did I want to call it? Oh, the Hyperbuster DX.
Oh, hell yes,
that was
absolutely.
definitely it.
The shining laser. All right. So go ahead, roll either forceful or flashy, your choice, and then you get to add a +2 to it because of charge shot, and then an additional +2 because of your stunt of using charge shot.
That's
oh
a
goodness,
nine-
that's a 9.
9 total.
Okay. You hear the sound of the various power cells within all the iterations of Hyperman lending their strength to this beam, and then suddenly there is just a lens flare and a corona of light as a massive laser beam envelops this child. You see his boss health bar, which is like this, and maybe went down like this a little bit. Suddenly goes and just blurp. He is obliterated from this plane of video game hell. And it leaves a massive hole in the floor.
Hypertron.
And at this point, the rest of you respawn. Boop, 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 boop.
Oh, that was unpleasant.
There's a door in this room as well. You kind of step around the prone princess, and you see a door at the end of this room kind of opens up, and none other than Dr. Riley kind of like stomps in and he goes, "What the heck was that racket? What's going on over?"
Punch him in the face.
Yeah.
No roll required. You smack him and he drops to the ground. Chance, you've never done so much damage with your fist before. And he's like, "Oh, no, please, spare me. I have information I can give you. Just spare my life."
I grab him by like the front of the shirt and I'm just like, what information, bub? You better start talking
The
fast.
person who hired me, I can tell you all about them. The architect, where they got the powers from, everything, how to get to them. Just please let me go. I'm just a
Okay.
scientist.
If the information is good enough, we will release you, depending on what you say. Hope the stars are in your favor.
What does that mean? They're
It
just
means
gaseous
that if
bodies.
they're not,
He's going to Hypertron's
I
going
like
to aim his
grow
gun
my
at him.
canines.
He's got like a massive cannon lighting up and canines appearing. It's like, okay. I'll tell you everything. I was contacted by a mysterious person after I got access to the internet, and they told me that they wanted to use my expertise to create a few worlds, and so I tried a few things here and there. I created a typing world, I created various video game hells, I created many things, utilizing this power that this person gave me. I don't know who they are, but they go by the architect, and, well, for someone this powerful, I was afraid that they might turn against me one day, so I made sure I had something that could protect me from them should things go bad. And I know where their home is and how to get to them. They're from this game called Phantasria. It's really bad, very buggy mess, real kind of cult classic. Nobody really remembers it very much. Very poor reviews.
You should stop talking.
Technical disaster.
Right now. You should stop talking.
That's our home game, bub.
Oh dear. Well, anyway.
I punch him.
My feeble scientist face. Listen. Oh, you from Phantasria? Sorry, I was talking about Phantasrio, that other really bad fantasy
Shut
game.
up.
Okay. So I tracked down the signatures of this person's energy coming from the world of Phantasria. They surrounded themselves in this power that I had never seen before, and I know how they are doing it, and I know how to shut it off. They keep it defended. There's a place in Phantasria that is effectively channeling all this energy into one place. If you shut this down, you can walk right up to the architect without any problems. And I'll give you that information if you let me go.
We will let you go, but you'll be in the custody of the scientist until this has been resolved.
Fine. I agree to your terms.
I let him drop.
Ah!
How we get there?
Hyperman X would like to take Dr. Riley back to Hyperman X's game, where he will be in the custody of my father, Dr. Bright.
That guy.
Well, from the general hyped reaction that we have seen to the mention of your father. Yeah, that's fine. We'll be in contact in case, like we need to press charges or legal action yeah. But anyways, how do we get there?
It's very simple. It's the origin of the world, the coordinate 000. That's where you'll find the device. And if you shut it down, you'll get free access to the architect.
What can you tell us about the architect?
All I know is that they are extremely powerful. They have an ability to create and destroy unlike anything I've ever seen. It's not an ability from any kind of game. I don't know how they do it, but I know it's not smart to cross them. Hence why I joined them and created a bunch of various death traps, but I don't think you would appreciate that part.
No, hurting people is never the answer. Look what you did to that poor girl.
She's just on the ground. Yes, but look what you did to that teenage boy, and he motions towards the smoking crater on the ground.
You were creating him! You possessed him!
I didn't
right.
possess him, I just plucked him from some other game world and put him here.
That's really cruel. You should stop hurting people like that.
Is that kidnapping? That
I think that's
Sounded
kidnapping.
That's
Yeah.
kidnapping.
Oh yes, I've done many kidnappings, it's kind of an evil villain thing. And he twirls his mustache. Bah!
I hope you realize that you're gonna go to jail for a very long time, buddy.
We shall see. Just wait until the next game comes out that old Dr. Riley's back on the streets creating robots.
also put these children back, maybe?
Yeah, can you just bring her back?
Yeah.
She's just.
Oh, her? Listen, the game I brought her from, there was not much going on there. Believe it or not, this is the most freedom she's ever had.
We're not just gonna leave her on the ground like that. That's terribly wrong.
Then do you have a medipack or something?
Do you? You're the scientist.
I do, yes.
Give
Uh-huh.
And he opens up his lab coat and pulls out this big, Red Cross white packaged medipack.
it. I go fix the child on the ground.
You kind of shove it into the princess, and she pops back up again, and she kind of says, "I'm so I'm so angry."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to punch him?
Huh?
You're welcome to.
Punching him. Ugh. No, I'm not listening to you anymore. I'm not listening to anybody. I'm my own person now, and I don't have to take orders from anyone.
Yes!
Totally.
I dig it! Princess power. I love it.
I don't want to be a princess. And she takes off her tiara and throws it to the ground.
Same! I did the same thing, except I didn't take mine off.
Who are you? Are you me from the future? Like a cool cyborg future?
No, wait. No, I'm pretty sure no. Probably not.
I don't think so. The timelines wouldn't match up. And you're definitely from Phantasria originally.
We're from a sci-fi future, so me being from... No, we're not the same person.
Okay.
What's your name?
Well, it was Princess Sparkle Gem, but I don't like that name. That's a terrible name.
You can name yourself whatever you want.
You
Yeah.
really can't.
And I will. I'm gonna find my ship and get the hell out of here. Bye.
There's nothing on that ship.
Can I hitch a ride with you, please?
Yes, you may
Yes.
hitch a ride with
Thank
us.
you.
I give her a sword.
You give her a sword?
Yeah.
She picks up the sword, just like, thanks.
No problem.
This is gonna be Bane's legacy, is that she's just gonna be handing out swords to people.
Starting a princess revolution. With
You
that,
should unionize.
there is a burst of smoke and Maya energy from the room that Dr. Riley came from, and the scientist comes out, just coughing and spluttering smoke everywhere, and she's like, all right, where is he? Where is that little... And she just goes over to him and just, smacks him with the crowbar a little bit, goes, ugh! And she says, don't ever try to mess with me again, you little weasel. All right, are we ready to leave?
Yeah, we have more information. You ever heard of someone called the Architect?
No, tell me about this as we leave. Everybody gather close.
Yes. I will huddle up.
Yeah.
I am very tall.
That's right. You're still huge.
There are more of you that I remembered.
I can, before we do that, I could just end the Hypertron phase and send everyone back to where they're supposed to be. So it's just Hyperman.
Love it. The various generations of Hypermen leap back to their original worlds. And now
Grab
it's
the
just...
evil scientist guy too. He's in our custody now.
All right. Hyperman, did you want to just grab Dr. Riley?
Yeah, I can do that.
Fantastic. All right. You kind of hold him by the scruff. He's thoroughly bruised at this point from the various beatings he's received. And he's kind of like there in daze. And yeah, the scientist punches in something to her device, and she says, "See, the thing about traveling to Phantasia is it's very easy because it's a broken mess and there's so much energy to harness. So here we go." And you all disappear, and suddenly, with a burst of electricity, teleport back to the familiar green plains of some of the earlier starting zones in Phantasia.
Okay.
Guided us home once again. I check my cards.
Yes. What do the cards say, Chance? Oh yes, all your broken items are repaired. By the way, there is no degradation in Phantasia.
Ah,
Oh, thank
For all its foibles, it doesn't punish you like that.
All right,
feels-
let's see what
my head feels
cards-
better.
Now that I have it back.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
it's not reversed. It's
Okay.
the sun symbolizes the success of the conscious mind in overcoming any obstacle or fears of the unconscious, usually through attainment of knowledge.
Hey!
Celebration, positivity, success, joy.
Literally what just happened. So that's very interesting.
Yes. Thank you, cards.
Things are looking up, you know?
Stoobs, immediately you are grabbed by the sort of scruff of your flannel, and the scientist says, "The elemental orbs."
Yeah, we have them. We've got them.
Okay, excellent.
Where's 0-0?
What's that?
0-0. Point of origin.
Oh, you would have to look into the game, data to see that, which I believe is something you can do, right, Stoobs?
Yeah.
Unless anybody
Well-
here happens to know exactly where 000 is.
I am
I checked the map.
Yeah, can we look at the map?
You
Is that
pull out
there?
your mighty map, and indeed it has a coordinate system on it. It doesn't measure the third axis, but you assume if you find 0 here, it'll probably be the same 0 everywhere else. You see that in Phantasia, 0 is found in the very bottom left corner of the map. So basically in the ocean, just off the mainland, but that's where you will find it.
Okay. Alright, so that's where we need to go. Where's Sky? I look for Sky.
He's not in the immediate area, but you can,
Okay, I call him.
Creator! You are
Hey,
alive!
bud.
I am thrilled. I just escaped a spelling game, and now I have mastered many words.
Good. I'm happy for you.
Mississippi! Where are you? Where can I come to help you?
Where are we?
You're in sort of the starting area. You're very close to Startown, actually.
We're pretty close to Startown.
I'm on my way! And
Okay.
immediately... and he pops back again and says, "I recovered the Straw Ed one as well." And you see Duncan kind of puts his little bucket head in and says, "Yeah, I got out too. There wasn't as much spelling as there was just incredible technical wonders in the world I was in."
Okay. Duncan, have you ever heard of someone called the Architect?
You know, I was just going through some files in the world I just came from. By the way, I have this thing called a homing missile system launcher. You probably might want to take it. I don't know if I can really use it very well.
That's terrifying, but okay.
Yes, but yes, I recovered some files that suggested there was some architect pulling the strings in the particular region I was in. Why? What did you find out?
The Architect is the one who's controlling the mire.
What?
Yeah.
Then we must stop them at once.
Yep, we've got a plan. Just you guys need to get here. Lickety split.
Well, Sky's going very quickly. We'll be there soon.
All right.
And you can even see on your map, by the way, of Phantasia, the circle has gotten so big it has effectively enveloped the entire sort of central ocean of this place. It is sort of tickling the lands and coastlines of Phantasia now.
Oh, we gotta move. We gotta move. We gotta move. Okay. All right. I
And-
will hang up and just turn to everyone else. I'm like, what now?
Hours. You got the orb. Your friend rode in on a unicorn. You yelled at each other, and then the world broke. We went into another world. We found this guy. We found that girl. We beat up a 15-year-old anime boy, and we found out the architect is behind it all.
It's a good summary.
Now we've got your dragon back and your straw man.
Yes.
And you're engaged to a mechanic.
Mark's a really great guy.
Congratulations are in order.
Thank
I'm sure the stars approve greatly of your union. But we should probably focus on saving the world.
At that moment, a beautiful silver starship appears flying above and lands down, and you hear over the radio, Bane, "We're back for you, Commander. We made it."
That's great. I'm pretty sure I have some unfinished business here, though. Stand by.
They kind of like slowly take off again. All right, standing by. We'll just hover here for a bit.
I mean, they might be able to get us there faster. I don't know. I mean, Sky's pretty fast. I don't know. What's the what is the velocity
Okay.
comparison?
I mean,
Spaceship
I
is
know
faster than a
exactly
dragon.
how fast it goes, but have you measured the speed of your dragon?
We have not measured the speed of the dragon.
You know he doesn't travel in light years
Yeah.
Yeah.
per minute, per hour.
What happened to the princess? Is she just here now?
Yeah, is she just like hanging out with us?
She's having an awakened moment of just like, just really trying to pass all the information that's going on and being not completely helpless for the first time in her life. She's really she's probably gone over to you, Hyperman, and it's just kind of like breathing, just like, don't know how to handle this. I don't know how to handle this.
Be sure to cycle oxygen.
I'm so
Yeah.
frightened. No, I'm
And
not
out.
frightened. I'm just confused. Cycle oxygen. Okay, what is that?
Breathing, I think it is called.
Do you not breathe?
Negative.
Oh, okay. So what's your
If need
story?
be- If need be, I could administer a controlled electric shock to calm your nerves.
Is that good?
Unclear.
Yeah, I don't know either. I feel like I know nothing. Sure, do it. I don't know.
Fear.
Fuck! She immediately collapses to the ground. Thankfully, due to Phantasier's influence, she has not, a binary health system. She actually has a health bar now. So there's a slight bzz. And then she kind of like gets up, her hair completely springing out in all directions, and she says, "Okay, well that really woke me up. Whew. That really hurt."
He kind of reaches into one of his pouches, takes out one of those little orb dudes with the little feet and the hard hats, and just pops them open, and a health bit goes into her.
Oh, thanks.
Are
Boy.
you calmer now?
I am, yes. Just the existential part is really getting to me. You just pulled out something that had some tasty health juice inside, and I just don't know what's going on anymore.
Perhaps now is the time to realize that you are in control of your actions for the first time in your life.
Can I be real with you, Mr. Robot Man? I really like that, but also I feel like I'm drowning a little bit because I've never had agency before.
The best part about free will, or so I'm told, is the ability to choose or not to choose. You may do with your life what you wish in your own time.
Whoa. You're a very insightful robot man.
I have the internet in my head.
Don't know what that is. Hey, Bane, I want to join your resistance or whatever. That
I
cool?
was gonna totally offer you to join.
Sweet. And she pulls her sword up to the sky and just runs over to
How
Bane.
are you?
Just imagine she's like SpongeBob with like
What was that you asked, Bane?
How old are you? Are you an actual child, or is it like a thing where you just look like a kid?
She says, hold on, and she says, apparently I'm 400 years old, blood type A, my favorite snack is cupcakes, don't even know what those are.
We have cupcakes on the ship, so
Great!
it'll be great.
This is a good decision. Thanks, robot friend.
Also, it seems like we're gonna be taking my ship, so okay, calm down.
The pilot of the ship is just like, okay, we're now going down. They land down. At that point, Sky the Dragon appears as well. Oh, you're muted, Katie.
I will help Duncan down off of Sky, and I will turn to Sky and the scientist and just like, would you like to use Sky as your assistant during this period of time, since we're going via spaceship apparently?
The scientist just like, I'll be honest, and no offense to our wonderful dragon friend. It's a friggin' spaceship, so I'm gonna go on the spaceship. Alright, okay. And she just goes onto the spaceship.
Okay, so you're coming with us. Then.
She pokes her head out of the spaceship and says, yes, of course, we have to fix this massive Maya problem. Did you forget?
Oh, okay. All right. Then I am going to turn to Sky and I'm just like, okay, I'm going to give you a mission.
Creator, I'm here. What do you need?
I need you to start flying around the perimeter of the storm and just people that you see that need to get to safety, take them far away. As far away as you can.
I will try my best, Creator.
And stay safe. Don't take any unnecessary risks, okay? So we're gonna be back. And
He kind of looks towards the storm that you can all see in the horizon at this point, and he looks back at you, a little misty-eyed, and he says, if one or both of us don't make it, let me just say, I am very thankful that you gave me life and allowed me to experience emotions and friendships. Thank you, Stoobs.
I hug him. I give him like the horse hug where
Yeah, around the nuzzle.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which don't actually do that to your horse because it's like you're mauling them.
Oh, PSA.
Yeah, so it can be very stressful. So, so I'm just like, I love you too, buddy. And you know, we'll have lots and lots of adventures when this is all over. And you know, we're gonna do like a spa month. Forget spa weekend. We're gonna do a spa month, and just I'm gonna get so much therapy when this is done. Okay, I just pat him on the nose. And
I look
go
forward
into
to learning what a spa and a therapy is.
Yes.
And with that, his wings beat extremely powerfully, and he takes to the sky. I guess in the ship.
Him...
Sorry, yes.
Little cucumbers over his eyes.
Yep. Princess Bane, I assume you are going back onto your ship with your new recruit in tow.
Yes.
Yeah.
We also have to give her a name.
Yeah, she actually says that to you. She's like, I need a name. Do you have any ideas? You have a really cool name.
I kind of just picked the first thing I saw.
Spaceship.
Chewie.
Well,
Chewie.
That
Probably
seems like
not.
a bad name. I mean, the first thing I saw was like some angsty kid get obliterated by a laser cannon.
Well, not that. either,
Laser.
probably. Laser is pretty cool. You like laser?
I like laser.
And you can always change it later if you want.
Whoa. This is incredible. The power to just do things. I love it. And you see there's a slight ditch ahead, and she looks at it and goes, not today, ditch. And she steps to the side and continues walking onto the spaceship. Meanwhile, Hyperman, you are there with Dr. with Dr. Riley in custody, as it were. And with the instability ravaging this region, it's only a matter of time before a rift bleed will open up that you'll be able to leap through. Or you could potentially ask the scientist to see if she could give you a kick in the right direction, potentially, if that is what you would like to do.
I think it all depends on whether or not he feels like he could still help,
Mhm.
like where he is. So if he could stick around and help a little bit before being, dragged back to his own universe, then he would probably stick around.
Cool. Sounds great. Um, how are you restraining Dr. Riley?
He's just being squashed by my turtle.
Oh yes, your frog, who is of course no
Excuse
longer
me, frog.
broken
Why did
anymore.
I say turtle? I don't know why I said turtle. Maybe he could be both. Maybe he's a frog turtle. I don't know.
Love that for him.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Was there something else you were gonna say?
I don't think so. So yeah, he's just being restrained by a Zoom frog,
Just. Then.
either being sat on him, or he's just got him in his like long robot frog tongue.
Oh, I love that so much. Yes. It is a surprise to you then when sort of a slight sort of mechanical appendage comes out of Dr. Riley's lab coat, and you hear a beep, and he says, "Ha ha! So long, fool!" And beneath him, a portal opens up, and he and the frog both fall inside it, and careen to a different dimension.
Took the frog?
He's still your frog? That's so messed up.
I am so sorry.
Is the portal gone, or is it still there?
It is rapidly closing.
Okay. Since I feel like this is the way for Hyperman to leave the story.
We may finish moments from now, potentially.
He's going to, before he jumps into the portal, Hyperman is going to turn to Chance. He's going to smile at her. He's going to hit his chest compartment once. It's going to open up, and there's a small star that is his power source.
Oh, he was powered by stars the entire time.
And he said, perhaps indeed, stars can feel. Clink. And he jumps backwards into it.
It's beautiful. You fly backwards, you hit the kind of entrance to the portal, and you kind of do like this, and then just slowly sink. And with a beam of light, the portal there is closed, leaving the rest of you kind of on the entry ramp to the back of this spaceship. As Sky flies up and away, it is Stoobs, Duncan, Chance, Bane, Laser, and the scientist. I don't think I'm missing anybody out.
Mark is
I
there.
think that's
Oh,
everyone.
yes, Mark immediately comes out and just kind of like grabs you and like you pick him up and spin him around because you're so strong. And it's beautiful, and you take off, and there's a beautiful Phantasarian sunset that is completely cracked in half as the Maya is devouring the skybox itself, leaving nothing but a bright white void in the sky. And you take off in the ship, and immediately it warps out of there. And that is where we'll end tonight's episode of Awakened Pixels. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I hope you had some fun. Huge thank you to Ryan for guesting and playing Hyperman. Absolutely loved it. Thank you so much. You crushed it. And also for putting up with the sheer chaos of this episode, because about 1,000 things happened and you still managed to keep up and do very cool things with the character, so thank you so much.
I definitely blue screened a little bit at the beginning.
Yeah, that's very understandable. Very
I'm just like, I don't know who any of these characters are. There's a Vile Lord, and Nevi is two people, and
I have no context for any of this.
I try to help with helpful props. Rosalind, Chance, Rosalind.
Fantastic. And of course, thank you so much, Gray, for joining us. Just to confirm, you will be back until the finale of Awakened Pixels, right?
Bane is here to stay.
Yes! You now have badass Princess Bane. She's back after her journey that the Oracle told her to go on. You're now back. You got battle arms, and you got a cool ship and a rad fiance.
so
Only
glad I used
14
Hypertron
episodes.
at the end.
Yes,
That was
good
really
use of
cool.
Hypertron.
I
Wonderful.
loved your character. They had such a sweet arc with like Chance and the stars. That was really
Yeah.
nice.
Gosh,
Fantastic.
so cute.
So before we depart, is there any thing people would like to plug? Any messages you would like to put out before we leave for the day?
I mean, you can find me on Twitter at the Simulacre. And you can also find me not this Thursday because it's Thanksgiving and such, but every Thursday going forward in the Chromatic Chimera game Olympus 2299, a Cyberpunk Red game run by the amazing Rowan. Uh,
Hell
and we
yes.
have a great cast and such, and it's been a really fun game so far.
Awesome. Yeah, check that out. Anybody else? Anything to?
I'm also on a game here. Every other Wednesday, you can find me in Madame Curios. It's a good time. Everyone is a garbage person in that game, and like not the people. The people are incredible, but we're all playing these garbage characters, doing their best.
Fantastic.
Garbage
Like
people.
waste
doing their best.
management workers or like just bad people?
That's our next campaign.
They're
Waste
not the
management.
greatest people. They're trying to do genuinely heroic things, but then like them themselves are all just dumpster fires as people. They're doing their best. It's really fun. It's a fun cast. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of good character development. I like what we've been doing so far. Check it out.
I feel like garbage people doing their best is just waste management in general. They're trying to manage the waste that they are.
Exactly.
Katie, do you have anything?
Stay safe. Yeah, it's
Yep.
crazy.
It's crazy. Stay safe.
Yes.
Wear your masks. Wash your hands.
Stay home.
Yep. Gray, anything from you?
2020 is almost over. Woo.
Ooh.
It's not. It's still real. Stay safe.
Yes, absolutely. Our music was provided, our beautiful beeps and boops were provided by Roll Music from the album The Black Dot, from Visitor from the album Song from Unmade World and Song from Unmade World 2, and Eric Skiff from the album Resistor Anthems. That can all be found on the Free Music Archive under the license CCBY. Thank you everybody again for joining us. We'll be back next week for the penultimate episode of Awakened Pixels. What? Don't miss it. Things are really going to ramp up more. So we'll see you then. Until then, take care, everybody. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.